which today would be uncovering unconventional strategies that would definitely land you a job in 2025. Okay? Unconventional. Unconventional meaning that you're not going to find this anywhere else in terms of direct step-by-step approach on what you need to do exactly. All right. So stick with us between now and the next 1.5 hours. I'll walk you through the different things you need to do in 2025 to land that job, the unconventional strategies. So before we get into the main meat, type where you are joining us from. I'm currently in Alberta, Canada. So type in your location into the chat. Let's know where you are joining us from. Okay. So type in, let's know where you're joining from. USA, UK, Birmingham, fantastic. I saw somebody that has my name, Nova Scotia. Akshay is joining from Canada as well. Cardiff, Edmonton, Tochukwu, fantastic. Nigeria, absolutely phenomenal. All right. So let's get into our session. If you have a friend, you have a colleague, you know somebody that should be here that can benefit from today's session, send this message to them. Send a link to them, get them on board, and let's have an amazing time together. Now, before we move on, of course, you need to know what we are all about at Analytics, and I'll do a bit of introduction about myself, and I'll drive my session today with my slides. Okay. So I'm just going to share my slides and then we'll move into the main meat of our session. Brilliant. Fantastic. So unconventional strategies that would land you a job irrespective of where you are in the UK, in the US, Canada, and so on and so forth. You can't do the same things you've done in 2024. Even in 2023, the whole job market has changed significantly. Of course, it changed incrementally, but in 2025, you have to do things differently. And for us at Analytics, we are the leading educational technology company focused on helping Africans in Africa and Africans in the diaspora to transition into the tech ecosystem. And over the last 4 years, going into the 5th year, we've helped over 2,850 people to land their very first jobs within the tech ecosystem, moving from the classroom to landing their very first job in data analytics, data science, data engineering, and so on and so forth across multiple regions, from Canada to the UK to the US, across Asia, Africa. And one of the things we pride ourselves on is understanding exactly what it takes to get into the job market. It goes beyond just the technical skills, but you need both the technical and the employability skills, in addition to a couple of other things I'll be sharing with us today. And of course, my name is Adeza Suleiman. I'm a technology expert with over a decade experience in data analytics, management consulting, data science, data engineering, and so on and so forth. I'm the founder of Tenalytics and the co-founder of Amdari. And using this platform, we've helped over 2,850 people to land their jobs within the tech ecosystem, from care workers to business analysts, from accountants to data analysts, from logistics professionals, medical doctors to sustainability data analysts, and so on and so forth. My experience spans across data science consulting in the UK and in the US, data analyst working with Sahara Power Group, the largest privately owned energy conglomerate in sub-Saharan Africa. I've also worked as a data analytics consultant with FITC, owned by the Bankers Committee, the Central Bank of Nigeria. I've worked across 5 different sectors, cutting across energy, sports, educational technology, financial services, and so on and so forth. And I'll be sharing my experience with you as we move on today. Now, our session would cut across 4 key areas. Would first look at the in-demand career path. So if you've joined a Tenalytics session before, you would know that the very first thing you need to do before you start learning, before you get into make a career pivot, a career transition, is to understand exactly where you are pivoting to. All right. You are probably a lawyer, you're probably a medical doctor, you're probably in the care space, and you want to transition. Do I become a data analyst, a business analyst? What career path exactly should I transition to? So you need to know the in-demand career path. I'll share them with you, and then the strategies to break into the job market in 2025. Not your conventional CV, application, interview, job offer. No, a different route that you have to start taking if you want to make a difference in 2025. And then we'll also look at how you can get started. What skills do you need to learn? If you want to become a business analyst, what skills do you need to learn? A data analyst, a data engineer. I'll walk you through that, and I'll introduce our upcoming cohorts starting next week, Saturday, and the amazing offer we have for you. All right. So once again, if you know somebody who should be here and they are not here yet, send a message to them, send a link to them, and get them on board. All right. Let's dive into the main meet. Now we have a sizable number. I'm going to share my slides at the end of today's session. Okay. So I want us to also have an interactive session at the same time. So if you have a question, post it, type it into the chat. I'll pop in there from time to time to take those questions. But we'll have well over 30 minutes at the end of my presentation to take more questions that you may have by the time we are done with the presentation today. Now, one of the most important things you need to do is to stay committed in 2025, which is you must know the career path you want to focus on. Okay, the career path to focus on. And I'm going to walk you through that. How do I decide the career path to focus on? I'll share 8 of them with you. Now, these 8 career paths I'll be sharing with you are career paths that we scrape data every single year. At the end of the year, Tenalytics would scrape data from the major job boards, from Indeed to LinkedIn to CV Library, Glassdoor, across the major economies, from the UK to the US to Canada. And we take the data from those job boards, we analyze them to identify the career paths that are high in demand. Once we've done that, we've seen the career paths that are high in demand. We then filter those career paths based on 3 criteria. And the reason why we filter is very simple. I can decide that I want to move from data analytics to medicine today, but that's not going to be easy. I'd have to go back to school, spend years upon years in the university. So even getting into the medical space, there's a high demand for medical professionals, for doctors, for nurses, and so on and so forth. However, it's not a career path that is easy to learn. Blockchain engineering, robotics, and so on and so forth. You can name them. They take time for you to learn. So we looked at those career paths that are high in demand, and we decided to filter if they are easy to learn, meaning that, can I learn this career path? Can I learn the skills within the space of 6 to 12 months? So if I can't learn the skills within the space of 6 to 12 months, then these are not career paths that I want to move into. Okay. Then we took the second criterion, which is ease of transitioning, meaning that a medical doctor who has gone through medical school can come out of the university, learn the skills in data analytics, and land a job as a pathology data analyst. One of our participants, one of our past students actually got that job with the NHS in the UK, full visa sponsorship as a pathology data analyst. So the question you need to ask yourself is it easy to transition into? If I've worked in customer care, can I become a business analyst? If I've worked in logistics, can I become a data scientist? So we also use that criterion to filter for the jobs that are easy to transition into. And finally, high and rewarding salaries, meaning that I still get to earn 6 figures. I get to earn high 5 figures, depending on my region and so on and so forth. And we came up with 8 different career paths. And what are those career paths? If you want to get a job in 2025, you want to transition, and one of these career paths are key considerations for you, you want to focus on this and not, deviate away from these 8 career paths I'll be sharing with you. So I'm going to mute everybody so that we don't have distractions. All right. So if you have a question, just type it in the chat. You can raise your hand at the end of the presentation, and then I'll take questions afterwards. My colleagues are also in the chat to take the questions that you have from time to time. So looking at these criteria, the 3 criteria, we came up with 8 different career paths that if you find yourself here, you will land a job. The business analyst career path, the agile project manager, scrum master, the data analyst, the data scientist, the data engineer, cybersecurity analyst, the financial analyst, and finally, last but not the least, the HR analyst. Now, over 60% of these career paths are within the data ecosystem. So we saw this and we recommend this. These are the services we provide in terms of the technical training that we offer to our participants and students. But we didn't stop there. We said we need to also validate with a reputable external organization to be sure that these analyses we've carried out and these career paths we are recommending aligns with where the world of work is headed. Okay, and the organization we looked at is the World Economic Forum. They release the Future of Jobs reports every 2 years. The most recent Future of Jobs reports was released this year, last month. We are already in February right now. So last month, January 2025. Now, the Future of Jobs reports released by the World Economic Forum, it's available online. However, I've also kept the link for you right here so that you can have access to that report. And anybody who is thinking of transitioning, getting a job, you've left Nigeria, you've left Ghana, South Africa, Kenya, you've left your home country, you're now in Canada, you are in the UK, you are in the US. You need to be competitive. You need to know these 8 career paths I listed and also read the Future of Jobs reports because it shows you clearly the career path that would grow and the career path that would decline in demand over the next 5 to 10 years. Now, one of the interesting things we found is in the next 5 years, between now and 2030, 170 million jobs would be created. So new jobs will be created right here, 170 million new jobs due to the emergence of new technologies, AI, machine learning, and so on and so forth. Okay. However, while 170 million jobs will be created, 92 million jobs would disappear to oblivion completely. Now, these are the career paths that are slowly declining in demand, and you don't want to be here. If you are transitioning today and you're in a career path that is declining in demand, you will just find yourself in deep waters in the next few years. So you want to be deliberate and strategic about your transitioning. So 170 million jobs will be created. 92 million jobs would disappear. You don't want to be a part of the 92 million. And the World Economic Forum, the Future of Jobs report also shows you the career path that would grow and those that will decline. Clearly, which I took an extract from the report to share with you today. So the link is right here. And like I always advise, ensure that you fill the attendance form that my colleagues would share in the chat. Once you fill the attendance form at the end of the session, you receive the slides, the recording, and all the materials I'll be sharing with you today. Would go a little bit practical, showing you all the steps you need to take and so on and so forth. Now, at the left-hand side of this report are the jobs that would grow. Sorry about that. Are the jobs that would grow in demand. And at the right-hand side are the jobs that would decline. If you're a human resource specialist, for example, you can see that right there. Your job would decline in demand. And so many others. I'm going to share them as we move on. Relationship managers, shop salespersons. Okay. If you are, food and beverage serving workers, you're a barista and so on and so forth, your jobs would be declining in demand. So we want to focus on where the jobs would grow over the next 5 years, over the next 10 years. And that's where we want to be. All right. And number 1 on the list is a no-brainer. This is the data engineering roles, the big data specialist, the data warehousing specialist, and the data engineers. These are the professionals that extract the data from wherever the data is generated. They create infrastructure, data warehouses, databases to store the data and ensure that the data is easily accessible when needed. These are the data engineers. If you're in this profession, you know that you're in a career path that is high in demand and a career path that will keep on growing in demand over the next 5 to 10 years. So if you want to pivot, this is one of the areas you want to consider. All right. Number 2 on the list, you'd see that clearly: AI machine learning specialist, data analyst, data scientist. So if you're in a data analytics career path, a data science career path, AI machine learning. AI machine learning is all data related. These are data related career path. You will find yourself in a career path that is high in demand and you will easily land that job. Then you have the information security analyst. These are your cybersecurity professionals, professionals that help you protect the integrity of the data that you have within your organization. They help protect the systems, protect the network, and protect your data. Those are the cybersecurity professionals. Then you have the process automation specialists, and these are the business analysts. The business analysts are process optimization specialists. They ensure that processes within organizations are streamlined, they are efficient to make the organizations reduce losses, increase revenue, and so on and so forth. Then you have the business intelligence analysts. The business intelligence analyst is a career path or it's a title that is a derivative of the data analyst role. So as a data analyst, you can get a job as a BI analyst. And I'll share details about that as we move on, depending on the skills you learn to become a BI analyst. So what set of skills constitutes the skills required to become a BI analyst? And what set of skills do I need to become a data analyst? I'll be sharing that as we move on during our session today. So if you're a BI analyst, business intelligence, data architects, database architects, these are still data engineers, project managers, but not the conventional project manager, the agile project manager. You will find yourself in a fantastic career path. And then you have the management and organization analyst, and these are also the business analysts. You see the data entry, the bank tellers, you'd see the graphic designers, you'd see the accountants, the bookkeepers, the auditors. These are career paths that are declining in demand. As an accountant, how do I become relevant? How do I stay relevant? If my career path is declining, how do I stay relevant? Simple. I would simply add data analytics to my accounting skills or my accounting profession to make me a financial analyst. Okay, I can become a financial analyst, a financial planning and analytics professional, a commercial analyst, and so on and so forth. So you move from the conventional accounting, conventional auditor role to becoming something data related. And the World Economic Forum Future of Jobs report showed us clearly that the analysis we had carried out to identify the 8 career paths we had listed are well in line with the future of jobs and where the world is going to. So I'll quickly show you this before we move on with our presentation today. All right. So you have the link on my slide. You don't have to bother about this. But one thing you can also do is open your browser and just type in WEF, World Economic Forum Future of Jobs Report 2025. Okay, you can add PDF to, at the end. So you have the PDF reports. Once you hit enter, you'd see the Future of Jobs Report 2025. That's just what I've shared with you today. Okay, it shows you the world of work, where we are going to be in the year 2030, and they have been very accurate. This report has been released from time to time, from 2016 till date, and they have been super, super accurate. So when you find people getting jobs in different areas, this is exactly what they've done, because the very first important thing you want to do is selecting the right career path. Okay. So download the report, have an amazing time looking at it, and you'd see clearly where you need to be and where you want to be, and the career path that would keep you there and get you to that future where you stay relevant. You're in a career path where there's future progression for you and you're home and dry. Now, these are the 8 career paths once again: data analytics, data science, data engineering, cybersecurity, business analysis, financial analytics, HR analytics, and agile project management. Okay, so my first charge to you, and we're going to have so many charges, about 3. I'll talk about a few charges to you, and I want you to ensure that you take them down. Have a note, your notepad, your pen, jot things down so you can take things away from today's session. All right. Now, I want you to list out at least 2 of the career paths you are interested in. If you're interested in data analytics, if you are sure I'm interested in data analytics, list it out, write it down somewhere. If you are sure you're interested in cybersecurity, write it down somewhere. If you're not sure you're interested in 2, write it down as well. Okay. But I want you to type into the chat, which of the career path are you interested in? Type into the chat, and I would love to see that. David says cybersecurity. Fantastic. Okay. IT operations is mundane, I would say. It's a role that can be easily done by AI enabled chatbots and so on and so forth. So you have a lot of IT operations role, IT support being phased out, software testing, and the rest. These are career paths from the Future of Jobs report. You'd see them as the career paths that are declining in demand. Okay. P says data analytics. Victor says data analytics. Jeanette says not really sure. Temitope says data science. Okay. Now, one of my first charges to you, Lucky says software development and data analytics. Brilliant. If you want things to change in 2025, you have to change. The way you apply to jobs have to change. You have to be more strategic, and you have to be committed to doing things differently in 2025. So that's my first charge to you. If you can write it down somewhere, ensure you write it down. If you want things to change, you have to change. All right. And you have to stay committed. Commitment is not being focused, saying, oh, I have to do this. I'm going to do this today. And this is where I want to be, and so on. No, commitment is elimination of alternatives. There are amazing career paths to get into. And I want you to eliminate the confusion. Today, somebody says the best career path to get into is solutions, being a solutions architect. Tomorrow, somebody says it is DevOps. Another person says it is graphics design, it's digital marketing. I want you to pick 1 or 2, like I mentioned, out of the 8 career paths, eliminate all the others, and stay committed to them in 2025. So commitment is going to be a watchword for us in 2025, eliminating all the alternatives. This is a career path I'm going to stay committed to, because it has never been easier to be distracted, and it has all to be distracted than today. And it has also never been easier to be successful than it is today. So you want to be sure that, first of all, I know where I'm headed, I know what I want to do, and you eliminate all the other alternatives. So now, going into the strategies I'll be sharing with you today, I'll share 3 of them. Okay. Now, there are more strategies beyond these 3. We can't take more than 3 in a 1 hour, 30 minutes or 2-hour session. So I'm going to share 3 with you today. The other ones, what I want you to do for you to have access to them, all you want to do is go to our YouTube page. All right. We hold sessions from time to time. So go to YouTube, search for Tenalytics, click on the Tenalytics logo, subscribe to the channel. And I had a session, click on video. I had a session last week. This was tailored to those in the UK who are looking for sponsored jobs. Now, the reason why I've mentioned this is simply because it would show you clearly strategies in addition to what I'll be showing you today that you need to focus on in order to land that job. Okay, so I had the session last week. I think it was on Saturday as well. So you can always come in here, watch the session. Absolutely phenomenal session. And you also get to watch amazing content from us at 10 Analytics. All right, now let's get back to our session for today. 3 key strategies. And the very first one is in 2025, you must become a micro influencer and building a personal brand online. Okay. Now, this is one of the most important things you would ever get to do if you want to land a job this year. You must leverage platforms like LinkedIn, and I'm going to show you practical steps how you can do this. I'll give you pages of models, people you can use as models to make your posts in terms of consistency, the structure of your posting, and so on and so forth. These are people that have gotten results, they are getting results, and you can model them when it comes to doing exactly the same things they've done. You must become a micro influencer. So gone are the days where you just churn out applications, you get invited for an interview, and then you land an offer. Today, you must create eyeballs. You must get eyeballs to yourself. People must know you, that you are you are this particular persona. The same person that is on the CV is the same person that we get at the end of the day. So instead of just applying to jobs, which arguably people will tell you that different studies and reports will tell you that only 30% of the jobs you apply to, you shoot jobs online, you see the application, you send your CV, or you fill a form, only 30% of those jobs would get you an offer at the end of the day. All right. About 70% would have to come through either referrals or networking, one way or the other. So it's either you're part of a network, somebody sends you details of a job you need to apply to, or you are referred to that company by somebody and so on. So it's arguable. Okay. Some would say 30-70. So 30% is you applying yourself, 70% is networking, referrals, and so on. Or some would say it's 40-60, depending. But the essence I want you to get out of this is, if you are hoping and putting all your eggs in just 30% of applying to jobs online, you are likely not going to get that job very soon. Okay. So I'm going to show you what to do to get more eyeballs to yourself. So you must start creating content on LinkedIn, on Instagram, and on X or Twitter, as the case might be. Start a blog, create a YouTube page, a YouTube channel. Okay. Become active on all these social media platforms. Share insights, comments, industry trends, and so on and so forth. If you go to my Instagram page or my LinkedIn page, you would have no doubt whatsoever as to what I do, okay, as a profession for a living. There would be no doubt about it. The World Economic Forum Future of Jobs report I just shared with you, the moment it came out a week after, I created a video on Instagram, on LinkedIn, on X, and I made the post talking about the key findings that we had seen based on the analysis of that report. So there's no doubt at all. On LinkedIn, you want to post your case studies. And like I said, I'll show you what it should look like and how you should do this. You want to post detailed case studies of the work that you've done. You've built a dashboard using Power BI, Tableau. You've built a machine learning model. Create a video showing key aspects of that model. Write your approach, your challenges, the technologies, the tools that you have used. Okay, something new comes out, the trends, DeepSeek, ChatGPT, the future of AI. Create some content around that. These are the things you must start to do. Organizations would hire that person they can see visibly that can do the job for them. They would invite you, they would headhunt you. LinkedIn recruiters, recruitment consultants, hiring managers, they hire from LinkedIn. They headhunt on LinkedIn, and numerous participants have gotten jobs, interviews from LinkedIn. And I'll share 2 of them with you today. Okay. And these 2 professionals would be the models that everybody here would copy, you'd see how they post, and you can easily mirror your own posts, to what they have done, and so on. On Instagram, you want to create short, engaging content, create videos, 30, 90 seconds, 1 minute, 30 seconds, 2 minutes, as the case might be. You want to create content around topics you are comfortable with. You don't have to be perfect to get started. Okay, you've learned how to use the pivot table on Excel. You've solved the problem with the pivot table. Talk about something new that you've learned. You've learned how to use a new function in Excel. Talk about it. Okay, and share your journey from time to time. Become a content creator. Get people to look at you and say, I would rather hire this person because I can see what they've done, and so on and so forth. Same on X. Okay, you're trying to help people write bite-sized content, short content on how to use different, methods or techniques in SQL, in Power BI, as a business analyst. Why is Jira preferred to another particular tool preferred to Microsoft Project, for example? Why will I use Lucid Charts over Draw.io, and so on and so forth? You talk about your own experience using these different tools and technologies. Now, what this would do for you is get professionals, hiring managers, to reach out and say, I would love to have a chat with you. Can we talk about your career choices, and so on and so forth? Would you like to work with us? And then you get invited for interviews. Okay, so let's see examples of people who have done this and they've gotten results, giving the advice, the strategies from 10Analytics. So these are 10Analytics professionals, and they would be our models for today. So LinkedIn, Instagram, X, there are so many other platforms. They give you what? Visibility. They enable eyeballs to get on your page, see how good you are, and you land interview opportunities. So we're going to use the case study of Ene and Victor. Ene and Victor are in our data science program. All right. They're both in the UK. Absolutely phenomenal professionals. Now, Ene has gotten interviews from posts that she made on LinkedIn. Victor also got interviews from posts that he's made on LinkedIn. But how are they posting? One of the things you'd see right on their summary when you open their profile page is you'd have no doubt as to what they do. It's clear. The keywords are there. Victor is a data scientist turning complex data into strategic insights. He has listed the tools and the technologies that he can use: Excel, Tableau, Python, SQL, and so on and so forth. He has also put the link to his portfolio right there. And I'm going to talk about portfolio creation as we move on. His contact info is also clearly stated right there. Same with Ene. So this didn't happen by chance. They followed a deliberate step-by-step approach to get to this point. Ene's portfolio is also right here. So I don't need to see Ene. I don't need to have a conversation with her to see how good she is and check out the work she has done in the past and the work she's also doing currently. All right. So let's go to Ene's page very quickly and let's see what Ene has been able to do and why this is a model page for us to copy if we're going to start building content, creating content, and posting out there on LinkedIn. So I'm going to click on Ene's profile. Okay. And I want this to open up in this browser. So just give me 1 second. All right. So I'm going to click on Ene's profile and it opens up on LinkedIn. So you have access to this as well. Remember, you have access to the links. You can check the profiles out. You can go to their profile, check it out, and see all the things they have been able to do so far. So Ene Ojaide, she's a data scientist, MLOps, predicting modeling, advanced analytics, and so on and so forth. Okay. Now, if you look at what Ene has posted, how I perform EDA, exploratory data analysis, 10 times faster using 2 lines of code from data profiling. Now, why is this very important, or why is this key? It's important because any organization would want to hire somebody that can make them better. Any professional that is efficient, and any professional that can get the job done a lot faster. And Anna is talking about how she's used 2 lines of code from data profiling to carry out her exploratory data analysis, EDA. Let me maximize this a bit. All right. Then she went ahead to talk about exactly what she's done with her missing values. The report, the detailed data profiling report covers the missing values, duplicates, data distribution, the correlations, key patterns, and automated alerts for data quality issues. Okay, so how do you build triggers and alerts when the data does not align with the different parameters you have set? You get a trigger to sort out and clear out that particular issue. But more importantly, she created what? A video. Okay, so anybody can come here and we can watch what Ene has done.
or the necessary
Okay,
libraries, and that
if
will
I
bring
increase the
in a data
volume,
set.
if I increase the volume a little bit, you'd hear NS speaking in the background, talking about what she's done. Now, these are the projects Ene has completed in class. Projects she completed during her capstone, during her internship. But she's not keeping it to herself because it does her no good. You need to bring your work to the public. You need to bring your work to the world for the world to know how good you are so you can get hired eventually. All right. So this is Ene talking
So these
about
are the two
what
lines
she's
of
done.
code that does the automation for
All
you.
right.
Then
We're
let's
not going
look
to
at
get
what our
into
report is
the
looking at.
nitty-gritty, the technicalities of what she's done. But if you go to Ene's portfolio, you also get to see this particular report and you can get to interact with it. But just see the interactions. 194 plus myself, over 15 comments, and people asking key questions. Somebody even saying, Ene, lovely post. You can also try this and so on. And somebody telling Ene that I just tried this and this is awesome. Quite impressed and so on and so forth. Okay. Now, if you go to Ene's profile, which is also very important, you also get to find out that Ene posts every single day. Okay. If you go to show all posts, you'd see 13 hours ago, she made a post on this particular, the ultimate guide to choosing your first classification model. Okay. Talking about advice on what you should do to make your work better and so on. Yesterday, she made a post. 2 days ago, she made a post. 5 days ago, she made a post. So there's always a post every single day talking about what she's done. Now, there was a particular project that Ene posted that got her interviews. Okay. And I'm going to share that post with you. I know it's right all the way down, but it's a computer vision project where you create a model using Python that can detect the number plates of vehicles. Okay, I'm going to scroll all the way down. And like I said, you'd have access to all of this and you can all check NS profile out. But if you want to get started in posting, don't crack your head, don't think too much. Come to NS profile, see the way she's posting, and that's the perfect way for you to go. All right. She's in our data science program, doing all the things we advise any professional to do. So this is the project. Okay. It's a project where she created a smart parking system where you implement the computer vision program. She created the program. Mukhtar is our data science lead who taught her, to do this particular project. And she's giving a shout out to Mukhtar right there. So you build a computer vision program that can detect the license plates. Okay, detect the license plates, can detect how long the vehicle has been parked, and so on and so forth. This program can be integrated to the cameras on the street, the CCTVs, and so on and so forth. And Ene was able to get an interview from making this post. All right. So, like I said, you want to be like Ene, you want to get opportunities in 2025. You can't keep your work to yourself. The world has to know how good you are professionals have to know that you are the right person for the job without a doubt that you can get the job done for them. So if you go to NS profile once more, you can access her portfolio. I'm going to come back to portfolio, okay, and how important this is for you to make the transition if you are in a career path that involves the use of data, the use of creating something. You must show that you've created that thing before. Even as a business analyst, you've mapped out a process, you've optimized the process. You want to show that you've done that before. You must have a portfolio. So if I click on this, it takes me to NS portfolio. Okay. Hi there, I'm NL Jaide. You can read about what she's done and you can see all the projects she's completed. You can click on the project, interact with them, and see how good NL really is before you even invite her for an interview. So when you don't get those interviews, part of the reasons is simply because nobody knows how good you are, and I'm not going to take a chance on you. Now let's go to Victor because I need to move a bit faster. Now, Victor, similar model, similar strategy. Like I mentioned earlier, they are both participants with Tenalytics at the moment. If I click on Victor's post, he made a post about 3 days ago, categorically stating exactly how he was able to secure interviews. Okay. After a series of unfortunately emails, this strategy landed me my first job interview in tech. And he detailed exactly what he did, which are the things we simply share with our participants during our mentorship sessions and so on. But why is this important? It's important because anybody who sees what Victor posts from time to time knows clearly that Victor is a data scientist who is implementing different models, different, strategies to land a job. Okay. Now, if I go to Victor's profile as well, I click on this, it takes me to Victor's profile. Again, without a doubt, I know exactly what Victor does. Okay. I can have access to Victor's portfolio and I can see all the posts he's made from time to time. So show all posts. All right. So 8 hours ago, Victor also created, he posted about, can AI predict diabetes before it even shows any symptoms? All right. And Victor actually solved the problem. He built a model that can predict diabetes based on the glucose, uh, the blood glucose levels and the level of hemoglobin, within the patient. Okay. He built a model, a random forest model with a 97% accuracy of detecting patients with diabetes even before the symptoms starts to show. The link to that project clearly indicated here. And he also created a video talking about it. Victor landed interviews. We prepared him for a couple of interviews in January. He had an interview, I think that was on the 30th, if I remember correctly. And all we are waiting for is for Victor to get that offer, that job offer based on what he's been doing on LinkedIn. Okay. Again, you can also see what he's done in terms of his portfolio. If I click on Victor's portfolio, it takes me to his portfolio. I can see exactly what Victor has done. Okay, I can look at this particular project on stock price prediction using time series analysis. If I click on this, it takes me to the portfolio. I can read about it step by step, what he's done, the introduction, predicting Tesla stock price, using the LSTM neural network, which is a recurrent neural network. Okay, now more importantly, I can see the codes by clicking on the Python notebook. So I can see the exact codes that Victor wrote in order to carry out this particular analysis. Okay, I can see the different libraries. I can see how he explored his data, the data cleaning, and so on and so forth. This is called proof of work. You don't need to explain to people, I have a certification in this and that. This is the clear example of showing that you can do the things that organization is hiring you to do. So if you look at a data science role or a data scientist vacancy, and they want somebody who can use Python, and the hiring manager goes through Victor's portfolio, without a doubt, they'll see how good Victor is with the use of Python in solving different problems. And that's why the portfolio is critical to your success in a career path like a data scientist, a data analyst, a business analyst, a cybersecurity analyst, because there is no way you're going to prove that you can do the job if you don't have a portfolio. That's where your personal branding online becomes important. So if you're never going to do anything else, you must start today posting online, talking about what you've done, showing people the best way to do things, how you utilize one model over the other, why one technology is better than the other, and so on and so forth. And you must also engage and engage. Don't just post and expect that it would spark a conversation around that particular topic. Answer questions, talk with people in the comments, and that's where you start to create connections. Okay, you must also have a portfolio. You can't do this without a portfolio. The portfolio is your proof of work. It's your showroom that shows that you've done this before. You can do it for other people. You can do it for that company that are looking to hire somebody to do that job for them. Okay, so I'll show you a couple of other portfolios very quickly. So we move into the second strategy. The first strategy, become a micro influencer in your field. That positions you as an expert, as somebody who can do the job, and you get eyeballs on you. Okay, so as a business analyst, what would your portfolio look like? So Victor, data science; Victoria, data analyst; Lemuel, business analyst. If I click on Lemuel's portfolio, for example, it takes me to her portfolio as well. Okay, and these portfolios are built based on the lessons, the classes you're going to go through during the 10 analytics program. Everybody builds a portfolio at the end of the day. So this is Lemuel's portfolio. Welcome to my business analyst portfolio. If you scroll down, one of the projects she completed is the Unilever canteen ordering system. Okay. Now, this link to the portfolio would be on her CV, on her LinkedIn, and anybody can access and see what she's done, how good she is, how did she utilize the RACI matrix, how did she use draw.io to map out her Accees process, the to be process, and so on and so forth. So if I come here and I click on explore the Unilever project, let's see what this looks like. It shows us what Lemuel has done. Okay, so this is Unilever canteen ordering system by Team SDLC. So she did this during her capstone project with 10 analytics. All right, if you scroll all the way down, you'd see the background, the problem statement. What is the current state? And the problem is simple. The canteen is always filled up. You have people within a very large complex coming to the same place to eat almost at the same time. So rather than queuing up, spending hours to get lunch, to get breakfast, let's create a canteen ordering system that is automated and make the process more seamless. That's what the project is all about. Okay. So there's always a rush during lunch hours, inefficient lunch breaks, limited food choices, and waste. So how can the business analyst within Unilever solve this problem? And that was what Lemuel did together with her team, and objectives of the project, and so on. Now, there's a business case. As a business analyst, you must know how to write a business case. So anybody looking at this knows clearly that Lemuel knows how to write a business case because she's written one. Okay. So what's the summary, the business problem? What's the costs, the timeline of executing the problem? What's the of this project? What's the risk and the expected return on investment, and so on and so forth? Who are the stakeholders, internal and external? How do I rank my stakeholders based on their interest and power? How do I use the RACI matrix on this project, the SWOT analysis, the main features, requirements gathering, the front end features, the back end features, and coming up with the as-is process map. So this is a process map. This was done using draw.io as a business analyst. Okay. So how does the process of ordering at the moment, how does it start and how does it end? As a business analyst, process mapping would be one of your core skills in getting things done. How are things done in terms of how does something start, how does it end, what are the activities in between, where are the inefficiencies, where are the gaps, and how do I come up with the to be state, which is the optimized state. So if this is the current state that takes 1 hour, what should the to be state, which is the future state, that'll probably take 5 minutes or 10 minutes, depending. So anybody who sees this, there's different sprints, sprint one, the user stories, and so on and so forth. As a business analyst, this shows you that Lemuel knows exactly what she's doing. Okay. And there are so many other projects in her portfolio. Okay, the Sunshine Resort analysis using Excel, British Airways analysis using Power BI, ABC Retail, Max Corporations, and so on and so forth. You must have proof that you've done the job before. And that's where your portfolio comes in. All right. So we have students, we have participants who have done this. They've implemented these strategies and they've gotten amazing results. And I'm going to share them with you. There are a lot. The best way for you to get everything at a glance is on our YouTube page under testimonials. Okay, but I'm going to share a couple with you very quickly. And I can see some questions coming in. I'll take those questions. All right. I'll take questions and I'll answer those questions. How does one manage data confidentially using privacy restrictions and utilizing this strategy? Tolu, that's all in your database, data warehousing creation. Okay. So your user access, the data, there has to be a data governance structure. That's the first thing. If there is no data governance structure in that organization, then the confidentiality of data becomes questioned, because the data governance structure would show you who is the custodian of data within the organization. Is it IT? Is the custodian going to be with MIS, and so on and so forth? Okay. If you know who the custodian is, usually is IT, because your IT infrastructure, your cloud infrastructure would be warehoused within the IT team. Okay. So when a new employee gets into an organization, who gives them access to that particular database or data warehouse? How do they request for access? And how is access assigned? So that's governance structure. The data governance structure shows clearly all these different processes, and that's where it starts from. Okay. I hope that answers the question. So let's look at a bit, few success stories, and then we move to the second strategy for today. Now, this is Hope. For those of you that joined early, you would have seen me playing Hope's video. Hope joined us in September last year, 2024, and she's gotten a job already. She started her job in December, 4 months into her program with us. Hope had certifications. She had project management certificates. She had a Scrum Master certificate, but she couldn't get a job in Canada. She couldn't get an interview. She couldn't get jobs. Now, why am I saying this? And if you listen to Hope's video, she also mentioned it in her video. Okay. Perhaps I'll play the video again once more before we wrap up our session today. Remember, one of the things I want you to take, which is a keyword for us at Analytics, and Hope is the perfect case for this. Competence. Always remember this. Competence over credentials. A lot of people chase credentials. I want this certificate, I want that certificate. And I've worked with thousands of people. And I'll tell you categorically, I've worked with business analysts with certificates, Scrum Masters, cybersecurity professionals, project managers. They have the PMP. Hope had a PMP. She also had Scrum Master certification, but she couldn't get a job. She joined our project management program, September 2024, and she landed a job as a project analyst with Weissman in Waterloo, Ontario, Canada. She started that job in December last year, so just about a month into her new role. And that's simply because she focused on what? Competence, not credentials. And that's what we do at Analytics. Your competence includes your skills and your experience. So you have to build the skills first, knowing how to define, knowing the different project management methodologies, knowing the different frameworks and so on and so forth does not get you anywhere. When you're asked a competency-based question during an interview, okay, tell me about a time you managed a project and how were you able to decide to use the Scrum framework or the Kanban framework? Okay, these are questions that would, they would expect that you've managed a project, and the only way you can answer that question effectively is that you've done that before. Tell me about a time you built a machine learning model. How did you select your machine learning algorithm, and how did you deploy your machine learning model at the end of building the model? Okay, these are questions you can only answer if you've done that before. So Hope was in that situation. She can write exams and pass. Exam is not the best measure of you being able to do the job. Exam is the best measure of you being able to retain information. Okay, and employers know this. And that's why they don't care about your credentials. They care about your competence. What skills do you have? And what experience do you have? Okay, so this should be the focus. Credentials is secondary. So Hope came to us in September. She joined our mentorship sessions. We prepared her for our interviews. She built a portfolio. We showed her how to, what should be in her portfolio to cover for her experience. All right. And she landed that job in December. And that's Hope's story. And most people you'd find fall under that category. They've been trying and trying and trying. They really didn't know what to do until they knew exactly what to do after joining 10 Analytics. Oluwadamilare got this job sometime last year in April 2024. Oluwadamilare was in the UK, completed his master's, couldn't get a job, was looking for a job, decided to transition into data analytics. He came to us, joined our data analytics program, and he landed a job with a company in Leeds called BAM as a sustainability data analyst. You have Oyefikayo. Oyefikayo has a finance and accounting background. She came to Canada as well, couldn't get a job, joined our full stack data science program. So she moved from accounting to data science. And a month before she completed her program with us, she got a job as a business solutions analyst with a company in Ontario, Canada as well. Okay. So I think I played Hope's video initially, just before we started. We dived into our presentation. So I'm going to play Oyefikayo. Let's listen to Oyefikayo. It's a 1 minute plus, so it's very short. And then we move into the next phase of our session today. But remember one thing, across these professionals, no experience, no background, they were willing to transition. Hope had certifications, but she couldn't get an interview. She couldn't get a job simply because certifications, credentials does not get you the job, but your competence would get you the job. Okay, so it would be nice for you to listen to Hope. Fantastic lady. Listen to her when you get the slides. Remember, fill the attendance form so you have access to my slides. You have access to the recording and all the other materials I'll be sharing with you. But let's listen to Oyefikayo very quickly, and then we move into the next phase of our session.
I'm so happy I got the job. I got the job 1 month to the end of my program. Good afternoon. My name is Oyefikayo Adesina. I got to know about analytics through one of their Instagram adverts at that point where I just needed a direction. I would say that is still one of the best decisions I've ever made in my career. Ever since I joined them, the classes, resources, instructors, they are great people. They are always there to support you. You have the Watch Me Do It videos where you can go at your learning pace, and you have the Saturday classes you have assignments, you have team project where you learn, you work with different people on your team. Joining Analytics has helped me a lot because my background is finance. I'm new to tech. I've never done coding in my life, but now I can tell you I have a very good grasp of what is going on. They have the live sessions, they have the weekly, they have Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday programs where you can join CV review sessions, where you can review your CV. You have your interview review sessions. This kind of support they give to you, you will be surprised. When I booked my interview session, they were really on my case. Like, they just gave me that support, they gave me that confidence I needed for the interview. And I'm so happy I got the job. I got the job 1 month to the end of my program, and even after getting it, getting a reference letter, like all the support you need to succeed, they will hold you by the hand till you are where you need to be.
Okay, so that's Oyefikayo, fantastic, phenomenal lady, currently on the role as a business solutions analyst, amazing professional. All right. So again, ensure that you do what? You become a content creator and stay consistent. But make no mistake, it's not a walk in the park. It's not going to be a breeze. Okay. It's dedication, is elimination of alternatives. What takes my time today? What do I need to eliminate in order to stay focused, to land that job, to post consistently, to create content, to talk about the projects that I work on? And there is something I would share very quickly before we move to our, second strategy for today. We call it the 90 days consistency project. Okay. So if you go on LinkedIn, let me see if I can find that and search for hashtag 90 days of consistency. Okay. Let me get this from the classroom so you see exactly what I mean. So every single program has the 90 days, the consistency project, okay? 90 days of consistency. Now, what does it mean? It's a guide that shows you categorically what you need to do, step by step, how you need to post to ensure that you are really getting the word out there, okay? The type of hashtags for you to use and so on and so forth, okay? Let me copy this. Let me copy this and see if I can show you what it looks like. But if not, before we wrap up our session today, I'll show you the 90 days consistency project, okay? 90 days consistency projects, 10 analytics. All right. Let me see if anything comes up. So I just want to show you what it looks like. No result found. I'll show you before we wrap up, okay? I'm not going to forget. I know exactly where to get this from. I'll get it and I'll show you what it looks like, okay? The consistency project. So you see exactly what people are posting from day 1 to day 90 about what they are learning during the program, all right? Now, once you've done this, the second step, you become a content creator. You can put the word out there. You have YouTube videos, you have LinkedIn posts about your case studies, you have your link to your portfolio or your LinkedIn profile. The next thing you want to do is networking. Okay. Remember, these are not the normal strategies you are used to. You are used to going to LinkedIn, Indeed, UK Visa Jobs, Glassdoor, and so many other platforms to apply. But here you are attracting the right eyeballs to yourself. Okay. So you're taking that extra mile and taking the extra step to get that job. So you're networking at the moment for a purpose. Your networking has to be for a purpose. And here you are meeting with recruitment agencies, hunting the hunter. The hunter wants to get you, but you get them first. So across different regions, depending on where you are, you're in the UK, you're in the US, you're in Canada, you are in Nigeria, you want to get across to recruitment agencies. You want them to know exactly what you are looking for. You want to get that sponsored job, that job that will sponsor your visa. You need to know exactly where to look for those jobs. You need to know the recruitment agencies that are likely going to get you those sponsorships. So what I've done is I've listed a few of them on my slides, and I'll show you practically how you can do this. The best way is for you to go to their respective pages. Go on, Google, search for these agencies, and then you have access to as many. You see the ones that are close to you, visit them, create a profile on their pages, and then you visit. All right. So we're going to look at a few, and then I'll show you exactly what you need to do. Now, let's go to the first one. Say you're in the UK, for example, you want to go to Hanam. For those who want to get data related roles, if you click on this link, it takes you to the platform. So here you have access to numerous data related jobs. Okay, data related jobs. So before you start searching for jobs, you want to upload your CV. Okay, so if you go to contact, for example, you'd see there are different offices across the globe. You see that different offices across the globe, from New York to London and so on. If you're in London, for example, perfect time for you to visit. But what do you want to do exactly? You want to upload your CV, create a profile on the platform. Once you've created a profile, you enter your first name, enter your last name, enter your email, and so on and so forth, your location, and you submit. Once you've done this, you can start searching for jobs. Okay, you can start searching for jobs. So see the type of jobs they have available. There's a BI analyst role, for example. So I can check out this job, the BI analyst role. Say I want to apply for a BI analyst. I remember that I said this. You can apply to jobs that, as a BI analyst, if you've studied data analytics. So if I click on this, for example, it shows me the BI analyst role between 30 to 40,000 pounds. It's hybrid, which means some days you'd work in the office, 2 days you work in the office, the other days you work from home. Now, what skills and experience do they want from you as a BI analyst? Strong skills and experience with SQL. Strong skills and experience with Power BI. Strong skills with data analysis expressions, DAX. Data analysis expressions are the calculations you write inside of Power BI. Okay, so this number 3 can be subsumed into number 2. So essentially, the skills you need for a BI analyst role is SQL and Power BI, or SQL and Tableau, usually, depending on the organization. Some organization will have a preference for Power BI. Some would have a preference for Tableau. Okay, but this is Power BI. Now, as a data analyst, you're going to learn SQL. You'd learn Power BI. You'd learn how to use DAX in Power BI. You'd learn Excel. You'd learn problem solving. You'd learn Tableau. You'd learn ChatGPT for analytics. And you'd learn Microsoft Fabrics. So you can imagine, as a data analyst, I'm going to learn all of this and even more. And that's why I mentioned it at the beginning that BI, business intelligence, is a subset of data analytics, is a derivative of data analytics. Okay, so you can always apply to jobs as a data analyst to BI analyst roles, and so on and so forth. Okay, so you can see different roles: data scientist, data analyst, Excel, junior data analyst, and you can see the different salaries clearly indicated. As a data scientist, you want to apply to this job, for example, in Birmingham, 3 days on site, 2 days, in the off, 2 days at home. Let's go to the skills and qualifications. What do you need? Python, SQL, okay, data manipulation, analysis, visualization, Microsoft Excel, Power BI, Azure, and so on and so forth. All the skills and qualifications listed here are all within Enes, skill sets, and also Victor's skill set, the two professionals that I shared with you. So you'll be learning the skills and technologies to apply to these jobs easily. But what you want to do, you want to upload your CV on these platforms. You are in Canada, for example, you want to go to Michael Page. Okay. You can simply go search Michael Page. Michael Page is one of the most popular recruitment agencies. You want to get a job, you want to be close to these recruitment agencies. So you go to Michael Page, open it up. And depending on where you are, if you're in the US, there's a Michael Page in the US. In the UK, there's a Michael Page in the UK. In Canada, there's a Michael Page. So there's always a Michael Page across these regions. So you'd see the link that'll take you to Michael Page within your region, Michael Page Canada. Click on that. It takes you to their platform. You can also apply to jobs here, but what do you want to do exactly? I'm a job seeker and I want to find a job. I want to submit my resume. Okay, you click on submit your resume, upload your CV, your email, your first name, and all of that. Upload your CV and submit. Once you've done this, the next step is for you to search for the office close to you. Do they have any office close to you? Visit them in the office and have a conversation with them. Let them know exactly what you want. Because guess what? They need you just as much as you need them. For every candidate they recommend, they, vet through the different assessment stages and they recommend to any organization. They get paid good money. Okay, I've done a little bit of that before while I was in the UK, recommending. We did a lot of recommendations and I got paid for it. We don't get paid for that because right now what we do is we have an MOU with these recruitment agencies, and whenever they want to hire from us, they reach out to us to take from our pool of talents of our participants, and then they hire from there. So it's a win-win for us. We are creating more access to jobs for our participants, and for them, they are getting candidates to fill the organizations that they are, recruiting for. So search for these recruitment agencies, visit their websites, upload your CV, place a call through to them. Better still, ensure that you visit them. Let them know exactly what you want. And that's where you start to get immense opportunities. Now, you can take it a step further. And I'm going to share a couple of insights with you where you want to take networking to the next level. Okay. When you apply to a job, most of us apply and we sit down and hope. Everything I'm saying, Grant, applies to you. Okay. If you are in Nigeria, what of those in Nigeria? The same thing. You can't visit, but you can place a call through to them. Okay. You can't visit these agencies, but you can apply on their platform, on their websites. Everything I've said so far from the beginning up until this moment applies to everybody anywhere across the globe. Okay. So networking to a purpose. When you apply to a job, usually the next step is I'm going to wait for them to respond. There's going to be a recruitment center. I would, do an exercise, case study presentation, and so on, interview, and then I get the job. But how do you ensure that your CV gets seen? That the application you've submitted gets reviewed? Okay, there's so many things that come with that. However, this is what you want to do. You don't want to apply and sit down and wait. You want to introduce yourself to that company and introduce yourself to that organization. All right. If you're in the US, JobRite is the best platform for you. And I'll show you how to use JobRite. Okay. JobRite would help you easily identify people within that organization, either the hiring manager or your colleague that you get to work with if you get that job. Okay, so you can connect with the hiring manager, the recruiters, or an insider within the organization. Or with JobRite, you can simply, if you can't connect with them directly, you can simply get their details, go on LinkedIn, and send them this message. All right. Hi. If the name is, let's assume the hiring manager's name is Mary. Hi, Mary. I wanted to connect because I'm interested in the business intelligence analyst role at your company and would appreciate any help to let me get in touch with the right contact. Thank you. Okay, this is for somebody who is an insider in the organization. The person works for that company and you would likely be colleagues with that person. And I'll show you how to do this practically. If you're in the UK, Canada, anywhere else, what you want to do is search to get the hiring manager within that organization. Okay, you want to find who the hiring manager is, the talent recruitment team within that organization, and send them a message. If you don't have LinkedIn Premium, or you don't have a connection to that particular professional, which are likely not going to have, the message you send will be different from the message you send when you have premium LinkedIn, which means you can send an elaborate message. Or if you have a connection request, you've sent a connection to them and they've accepted, you can then send an elaborate message to them. I've kept the message right here on my slide. The elaborate message, the short messages. I had it on a Word document before, but I knew that if I separate the Word document from the slides, you're likely not going to get everything in one place. So again, if you want to get the slides, get all these materials, ensure you fill the attendance form so it gets sent to you. All right. So I'm going to take it one after the other. Very quickly, I'm going to show you what you need to do. If you're in the US and you are not on JobRite, I really don't know how you want to get a job, or if you're serious about getting a job. JobRite is one of the most phenomenal platforms that our students use to get jobs, especially for those looking for H-1B visa. That would, a company that would petition for a H-1B visa and get them on visa sponsorship. You want to be on JobRite, okay? So I've kept the links and all the things you need to do. I'll show you what you need to do right here, okay? So if you click on the JobRite link, it takes you to JobRite, okay? Now, if you have an account, if you don't have an account, you'll be required to create an account. So while creating the account, you want to ensure that there are certain, you'd see the part that says, do you want to see companies with H-1B authorization? Make sure you select that part. It's pretty intuitive. Okay, so while you're doing this, you'd see that part, ensure you select it. But just in case you forget to select while creating your profile, you can do it right here. So with JobRite, the way it works is you upload your CV. After uploading the CV, you get matched with jobs that you can likely get based on the content of that CV. And let me show you what this means. So when we talk about job matching, this is exactly what job matching is all about. So JobRite does it for you perfectly. So you can see this job right here on my screen. Let me see if you can see what I'm seeing. Maybe maximize it a little bit. Okay. So if you can see my screen, you can see this job, business intelligence analyst role. Okay. It's in construction. It was posted 11 hours ago and so on and so forth. But if you look at the right-hand side, what do you see? 79%, which is a good match. But you don't want to do 79. You want to take this to 95, 85 at the minimum before you apply. So how to take it to 85, take it to 90, 95, that's almost a 2-hour session on its own. Okay, so we have these sessions during our mentorship sessions with our students to let them know exactly what you need to do before you go ahead and apply to this type of job so that you get access to the interview because you match with a very high percentage. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is, let's assume I want to apply to jobs. My CV has been uploaded. I forgot to select the H-1B authorization while I was, signing up. You can do that from the filters. So if I click on filters, it opens up the filter for me. And then if you scroll down, compensation and sponsorship, you'd see H-1B sponsorship. Ensure that is selected. Okay. So once that is selected, you are good. You are home and dry. You can type the type of jobs you want to get, the type of jobs you don't want to get. If I want jobs that requires only Power BI skills, or I want jobs to I want a data analyst job, but I want that job role to exclude Tableau, a particular skill. I can come down here and I can type it. Okay, show me, just like you type, into ChatGPT, show me jobs, show me data analyst jobs. I can type that there. Show me data analyst jobs that exclude, that exclude Tableau. And then I hit enter and I send enter. Once I do that, it would show me only jobs with other skills, excluding what I have indicated. You can also say, show me jobs with Excel, Power BI, SQL, Tableau, and the skills that you have. And that's the beauty of using JobRite. So what I want to do now is I want JobRite to show me jobs that match my current skills, that I don't need to do any extra work to take 79% to 85. So I'll simply come to recommended right here at the top, click on the drop down and show me top matched. So if I click on top matched, I'll see the jobs that I match with a high percentage. All right. I can see 94%, 93. I'm going to start with these ones, applying to these jobs before I go to the jobs that are 78, 79, where I know I have to work on my CV, if that makes sense. So I save time by doing that. Now, this particular company, Aditi Consulting, let's see. I'm going to click on it, click on this job right here, and let's see what it's all about. Okay, so if you click on that, it shows you the overview of the organization, the overview of the job. It's in Cincinnati, Ohio. You can see what the difference. It's $40 per hour, not too great. Okay, it's a full-time role, entry level, new grad. So you can see all the details essentially. All right. You can read more about the company. You can scroll down. Now, one of the things you'd find, like I mentioned earlier, because we are here because of networking, right? Not just to apply to jobs. Applying is conventional. We are here for networking, right? So one of the things you'd find easily with JobRite is insider connection. So you'd see Christy, the director of talent experience, Anirudh Dasari, the technical recruiter, Sam Streetley, the business data analyst. Now, what does this mean? If I get into this company, I'm likely going to be working with Sam, who is a business data analyst. I'm likely going to be recruited by Dasari, who is a technical recruiter. And this person is definitely maybe head of HR as a director of talent experience. These are the people I want to connect with. And from JobRite, you can simply click on, you can connect via email or you can connect via LinkedIn. Okay. So if I want to connect via LinkedIn, for example, I simply just click on this button and it introduces me automatically. Okay. Hi, Anirudh. I wanted to connect because I'm interested in the data analyst level 1 role at your company and would appreciate any help to help me get in touch with the right contact. Thank you. Or you can simply go a step further to say, hi, Anirudh. I applied for the data analyst level 1 role at your company. I'm highly skilled in the use of all the skills you mentioned, especially in business intelligence. You want to say that your skills align with the mission of the company, and I would love to discuss how I can add value. Okay. When you send these messages, what it does is it shows that recruiter that you are somebody who is willing to go the extra mile to land that job. They would likely connect with you. They would interact with you. They'll check your application. They'll check your CV and ensure that you get into the company. Now, guess what? You get into the interview at least, and then you get to showcase your skills. But guess what? Because you already matched this job by 94%, you know that when it comes to ATS, you don't have to worry yourself. The keywords are good. Your CV is keyword optimized for this particular job. Okay. So if you look at the requirements, what do they want? They want Power BI, exploratory data analysis. You work in a cross-functional team, work successfully in an agile environment. So you get to see the type of skills that they are looking for within this organization. Okay. Predictive modeling, data visualization, and so on and so forth. So applying and making that connection. So with JobRite, if you're in the US, you must be on this platform. It's a no-brainer. This would get you your next job. Okay. You can scroll down, see more about the company and all of that. That's the president, the CEO, that's the chairman. H1B sponsorship. Aditi Consulting has a track record of offering H1B sponsorship. Okay. So you want to apply to jobs like this to give you that chance of landing that sponsorship that you need if you are in the US. Now, let's assume I see this particular job advert somewhere else. Okay. I'm in the UK, for example, and I see an advert from the same Aditi Consulting for a data analyst role, but I'm not on JobRite because JobRite at the moment only caters to people in the US, not in the UK or Canada yet, but the platform is being upgraded to serve more regions. Now, let's assume I see this somewhere else. What I'll simply do is I'll go on LinkedIn. So let's say I'm applying on CV Library, for example. I'm applying on CV Library. I'll go on LinkedIn and search for the name of that company. So I'll click on the search bar and I'll type Aditi Consulting. Okay, Aditi Consulting. I'll click on that. It brings up the company for me. Okay, I'll click on Aditi Consulting. Okay, you'd see what the company is all about. You can see the jobs they have available. So if I click on jobs, for example, I can see the openings. They have 265 job openings. Okay, data analyst level 1. That's probably the one we saw on JobRite. Data analyst 2, data analyst 2. I can click on next. BI business analyst. I can see all the roles that they have essentially. But what I'm interested in is the people. I'm looking for somebody within that organization. So I click on people. Okay. So you can scroll down and keep on checking to see the different people working in that organization. But I want to see where the people and their departments, where they work essentially. Okay. So here, where they live, where they studied, I'm not interested in that. What they do, human resources, what are they skilled at? Okay. Recruiting, technical recruiting. I want to look at technical recruiting because this is a technical role. I'm likely going to be recruited by a technical professional. Click on that. Okay. And then I'll start to see people that are closer to the technical recruiting role. So Ayushi, for example, is a technical recruiter. Sunil is a technical recruiter, and so on and so forth. This gentleman as well is in recruitment. So what I'll then do is go to message. Okay, I'll click on the person to see who the person is. All right. So this is a technical recruiter, US staffing, and so on and so forth. Then I want to send a message. If you don't have LinkedIn Premium, you can't send a message. So what you want to do is to connect first of all. So I'm going to click on more and I'm going to click on connect. You can connect without a note or add a note. I'd suggest you add a note. Okay. So I'm going to click on add a note and I have just 200 characters, not 200 words, 200 characters to connect with this professional. So what I'm going to do is I would simply go back to my, PowerPoint, and I've kept this for you. So all you're going to do is just copy what you have there. So I'm just going to copy this very quickly. This particular one. Okay, I'm just going to copy this. This is what you're going to use to connect with that person. Okay, so let's copy this. I'll copy this from my slide and then I'll just go paste it right there. And of course, I'll adjust. So it's important you want to adjust as well. So let's copy this, Control C. I'll come in here and paste Control V. Okay, you want to make sure it's not more than 200. All right. Hi, Ayushi. You type the name Ayushi. I applied for the type the the job role for the data analyst level 1 at Aditi, the name of the company. Okay, my background in data analytics or business intelligence, whatever you want to put there, data analytics, with excellent BI, with excellent BI skills. Okay, with excellent BI skills aligns with your mission. I'd love to discuss how I can add value. Thanks. Okay. Of course, you can make all these adjustments and all of that. And then you go ahead and send. Now, they're likely going to connect with you. You'll get a feedback from them. And eventually, you get your CV looked at. It's very important. You don't want to just apply and hope. You want to apply, follow up, do an introduction, introduce yourself. And when they eventually connect with you, you want to send a more elaborate message. Okay, we're not going to get into the nitty-gritty of the message. You'd have it on my slide when I share the slides with you, but you want to send this message with them, detailing your skills and what you bring to the table. Okay, why are you valuable to them? What value do you bring to them? Okay, what have you done as a data analyst coming to our company as a data analyst? What do you bring to our company? What have you done before? You want to talk about that. I'm particularly excited about how you talk about the areas they're trying to hire for. A BI, somebody who has Power BI, data wrangling, you saw all those things. You fit them into your messaging and ensure that by the time you send this message, they'll want to have a conversation with you at the end of the day. Okay, so remember, your networking is not just about going to the platform and uploading your CV. Once you've gone to the platform, you've uploaded your CV, what next do you want to do? You want to follow up to ensure that these agencies know exactly what you need. And once you also apply, don't stop there. Go to these companies, search for the hiring manager, search for somebody who works there. If you're in the US, use JobRite. If you're anywhere else, use LinkedIn. Search for that hiring manager and reach out to them. Okay, very, very important. Now, the final strategy I'll be sharing with you, because I mentioned I'll share 3, and there are so many more that we have on our YouTube page. You can always go there, watch my session last weekend. If you're in the UK and you don't watch the session that happened last weekend, you've missed out on too much. You don't want to miss out on that. Okay, now I want to ask a quick question. Imagine that you've applied to a job or you want to apply to a particular organization, and the key decision maker for that job you want to apply to, the company you want to apply to, the person that would say, let's hire this person, or no, we don't need this person, is just 10 minutes away from you attending a networking event, what would you do? The key decision maker for that, your next job, is just 10 minutes away from your house in a networking event. What would you do? Type into the chat. I want to know your thoughts. What would you do? A key decision maker for that next job you want to get, that sponsorship you want to get. You want to work with the NHS, you want to work with NatWest, you want to work with Scotiabank, you want to work with that organization. And the key decision maker is 10 minutes away in a networking event. It's not a trick question, okay? So type into the chat what you would do. Eunice says, I'd go for that event. Paul says, I'd reach out to the person immediately, okay? Of course, the only way you can reach out to the person is attend the event, obviously. Oyewole says, Toyin says, I'll go for the event. I would attend the event. Adebolanle says, I'll send foodstuff to his house. How would you know the person's house to send foodstuff? Okay. I'll show up and show out. I'll attend the event. And that's our next strategy. People like that are always 10 minutes away from you, but you don't attend those events. They are always 10 minutes away from you. That's HR director, people and organization director, talent experience director is 10 minutes away from you. Attending a networking event, that founder and co-founder of that company you want to join are 10 minutes away from you, but you don't attend those events. Now, what you need to start doing is getting into the inner circles of startups, innovation hubs, accelerators. These innovation hubs and accelerators, they are the heartbeat of the tech ecosystem. When you attend any of those networking events, workshops, and so on, you will definitely meet the industry leaders, the founders, the co-founders, potential mentors, your peers who are also trying to achieve exactly the same things you are trying to achieve. And that's where you start to open up opportunities for yourself. And I'll give you a very quick story before I go ahead and tell you exactly what you need to do here. There is a tech hub very close to me, an innovation hub. It's called Edmonton Unlimited. For anybody in Edmonton, you know Jasper Avenue. You have Edmonton Unlimited. So when I moved to Canada for the very first few months, one of the first things I do is to search innovation tech accelerators close to me, innovation hubs close to me. Okay. So in Edmonton Unlimited, they had a showcase, a project showcase from founders of different companies. And I attended. It was on a Wednesday evening. I attended that event. Now, I started attending after that first time. And every Wednesday, they have something called community coffee. Community coffee is where anybody can attend, visit the venue, free coffee, free bagels, free, cookies and all of that. And you have the opportunity to network with like-minded professionals. If you're a founder, you'd find numerous founders and co-founders. If you're looking for a job, you'd find so many other people looking for jobs. And you get to network, showcase what you can do, and you start to get opportunities. Now, where does my story start from and how does it end? I met one of the founders in one of our community coffee. He had worked for Activision, the creators of Call of Duty. For the guys anybody who has a PlayStation 5 or 4, for example, would know Call of Duty. So I was excited to meet somebody who has actually worked in a company like that, but now he owns his own gaming company. All right. And he was looking to hire a data engineer. And when we got talking, I told him about the work we are doing at Analytics, the fantastic work we are doing. Also, setting up, launching our office last year in May 2024 in Alberta, Canada, and so on. He was excited that, oh, you work with data engineers, you work with data scientists, data analysts. I said, yes. Now, because I'm a Nigerian, and he was trying to hire a Nigerian at that time, he decided to seek my opinion. So he showed me the profile of this gentleman that, oh, I'm trying to hire a data engineer and I'm looking at talents outside Canada. Okay. So he showed me the profile of this gentleman. And immediately I noticed that this was somebody I had worked with before. He had joined our analytics program in 2022. So immediately I told him that I've worked with this person. He's the fantastic gentleman. He's the right addition to your team at this point in time. And he was excited. And guess what? This guy got the job offer. He's moved from Nigeria and is currently in Edmonton. He got his PR, got the job, moved from Nigeria, and is currently in Edmonton as a permanent resident. And that was how we got the job. But guess what? Who would have ever imagined that a networking event would have brought me close to that founder who was trying to hire somebody from Nigeria who had coincidentally also been an alumnus of Tenalytics at some point. And that's the beauty of these type of networking events. I just thought I should tell that story before I tell you exactly what you need to do. It doesn't matter where you are, wherever you are, there is a tech accelerator. There's an innovation hub close to you. I'm just going to give a few examples. I'll use Edmonton Unlimited as an example, which I visit. For anybody in Edmonton, in Alberta, essentially, if you want to find me easily, you're likely going to find me in, one of these Wednesdays in Edmonton Unlimited, Platform Calgary, and so on and so forth. Okay. If you are in London, in the UK, you want to look at L39, level 39. Okay. The Silicon roundabouts as well. And there are so many. I have a list, a full list for you. Okay. But what you want to do, first of all, Google innovation hubs near me, innovation tech accelerators close to me. Google that, you'd see so many of them come up. Okay, attend their events, their meetups, their networking events, introduce yourself to people, the speakers, what you can do, your goals. I'm trying to get sponsorship. I'm trying to do this. This is what I've done. This is my portfolio. And that's where you start to get opportunities. Okay, now let me give you a very quick example. All right, let's go to Edmonton Unlimited. Okay, I've kept the link here. I also have a link for you to access the different tech hubs. If I click on this link for you, it takes you to different tech hubs: Canada, UK, the United States, the rest of Europe, and so on and so forth. Okay, so you have access to this list. All right. Then if I click on Edmonton Unlimited, for example, and I go to their platform, okay, events, when you search and it brings up any of the platforms, any of the hubs, go to their events, click on events and see what they have. Okay. So you can see different events. This is on the 3rd of February. By the way, this was how we got into Edmonton Unlimited's accelerator, the velocity program, where as startups, you get funding, you get access to numerous resources. Tenalytics got in there. Okay. Just a few months after we moved to Canada to set up our office in Canada, we got that opportunity by visiting the Edmonton Unlimited. This is the community coffee I talked about every Wednesdays, February 5th. If you click on this, for example, you get to see what it's all about. Okay. 8 a.m. to 11 a.m., 3 hours. What are you doing? You're grabbing your favorite coffee, engaging in conversations. It doesn't matter if you are a member, you're not a member, you have the opportunity to join these community coffees for free. Okay. You also have Platform Calgary. For those in Calgary, Platform Calgary, excuse me, you can go to events, for example, Platform Calgary events. Okay. So Edmonton Unlimited, Platform Calgary are all part of Alberta Innovates. Okay. So you can go to their events, you see what they have coming up, in the next few days, the next few weeks, and attend those sessions for free. If you go to Edmonton Unlimited, I don't know if our pictures are still there, but I'll show you. When we had our project showcase, Tenalytics was featured somewhere around here. Now, if you go to L39, for example, level 39, which is in the UK, again, this is just to show you exactly what you should be doing. There's a full list for you to access to get all of this. When you come to level 39, go to what's on events. Again, you want to see the events that they have. It's for free. Join for free. You have access to all these amazing, opportunity to network. This is 20th of March, 6th of March, 18th of February. So this is the most recent coming up. I'll click on this and I'll register to be a part of it. So click on that. It's going to be 2 p.m. level 39. And where's register? You look for where they have, okay, level 39 exclusive. Perhaps this is exclusive to the members. Okay, perhaps this is exclusive to the members. All right. But again, let's see more. There are lots of free sessions right here. Okay, so let's check the women founders get together, for example. You have the Montera Warp Speed with generative AI. This is also in February on the 12th. Let's check this out. Okay, and let's see. So you have the register button right there, 9 a.m., 12th of February. I click on register. And it's what? Free. So I can get my tickets on Eventbrite. Okay, enter my details and everything. I register, get my tickets, and I get to be a part of this particular event. I go there and I showcase myself. I tell people what it's in Canary Wharf for those who would like to visit. And that's one of the best things you can do for yourself. Nothing happens from the comfort of your home. You want to step out, go out there, and ensure you create opportunities for yourself. Attend as many events as you can, as many events as possible. Again, you have a full list. I'm going to share my slides with you. You'd have access to all the tech hubs in Canada. It doesn't matter the province. You're in BC, you're in Ontario, you're in Alberta, you're in the UK, in Birmingham, you are in Manchester, they are in Leeds, you have all the tech hubs right here. In the US as well, and the rest of Europe. So you have all the tech hubs. I'm going to share this with you. You have access to them. Okay. And this is the third strategy. Remember, my second charge to you today is opportunities rarely knock on your door. Okay. It rarely knocks on doors that are closed. Step out of your home, because success would only meet those who go out to find it. Okay. So that's a quote from me in 2025. You want to get success in 2025 this year, you need to step out to get it. You do your applications and all of that the way you would, okay, which is a different process entirely. Your CV review, LinkedIn optimization, and all those things. You put out applications and you also become a content creator, network with agencies, and more importantly, visit and attend networking events at innovation hubs close to you and tech accelerators close to you. Okay, so these are my final charge. Is a lot of us, most of the time, we expect too much when we put out applications or when we do anything. We expect to get the best results. First of all, for you to get a job offer, you need to have applied to 249 jobs to get one offer. Okay. Now, most of the time, you'd realize that you need to apply to a whole lot more, sometimes lesser than this to get an offer. But you know the volume of work that you need to do. So we apply to 10 and we expect to get a job. We apply to 20, we expect to get a job. If you're not applying or you have not applied to 249 jobs and you complain about not getting a job, you haven't put the work in. So my final message in terms of my charges to you today, and I want you to write this down, very, very important, very key. We don't rise to the level. Let me put it this way. You don't rise to the level of your expectations. You fall to the level of your preparation. Okay? You don't rise to the level of your expectations. You would always fall to the level of your preparation. So don't just put in applications and expect to get the best. Go out there and do more. Prepare more for that interview. Prepare for that networking session. Prepare for all the different postings you are going to make, and ensure you do all these things I've shared with you. And getting a job in 2025 would be a no-brainer. It would be guaranteed success for you, no doubt about that. Okay, and that takes me to more success stories. I'm going to breeze through this very quickly because we've talked about success stories already. 2025, so many new jobs. Over 31 people have gotten jobs already in 2025 in January. They started the processes last year and they are getting jobs. This is an amazing lady. She's in Canada. She got this job as a HR data analyst for a company called Sask Energy. Okay. The organization reached out to us. This is her sending a message. Hello, Priscilla. Happy New Year. I'm overwhelmed, but with good news. I have 3 job interviews. 3 job interviews. We prepared her for the interview. I have an interview with Sask Energy for a HR data analyst role. One of the jobs you posted, I want you to make a note of this. One of the jobs you posted. What does she mean by one of the jobs you posted? I'm going to talk about the jobs that we post every week on our platforms that our participants apply to. So she had 3 interviews. We prepared her for these interviews. Okay. And this year, January, she reached out. I got the job. Okay. And of course, I wrote her reference. The organization did a reference check. We completed that, and she started this particular job. Okay, you have this amazing lady. Her name is Shay, and this is Robert Half reaching out to us to say Shay applied to a job for a performance analyst role, and they want to confirm Shay's different, job history and so on and so forth. And Robert Half reached out to me and I responded, and Shay is getting that job. Now, why is this important, or why am I bringing this up? Organizations would always ask for what? References. Where have you worked before? You said you're a data analyst. Where have you done this before? So that's why when you join us at Analytics, you don't join us as a student, you join us as a contractor or a consultant. And that's where you have the opportunity to request for a reference from us. All right. And you have this amazing professional, Osamudia men in the UK got a job as a people partner after completing our HR analytics program. Okay. And so many other professionals. Adetayo, for those who joined a bit early, you'd have listened to Adetayo, who got a job in cybersecurity just before he even completed the program. 70% completion. He got that job. We prepared him for his interviews and he's on the job today. You have somebody like Ikmat who got visa sponsorship, moved to the UK. She was a stay-at-home mom. She was out of work for 2 years, decided to get back into the job market. She joined our data analytics program. We prepared her for our interviews and she got a job as a data analyst with the NHS, full visa sponsorship. Same with Ramat. Ramat was in customer service. She joined our business analysis program. Today, she's a business architect with the NHS, full visa sponsorship. Toyin was a pharmacist back in Nigeria, moved to the UK for her master's, joined our data analytics program, and today, Toyin is a benefits analyst with the NHS as well, full visa sponsorship. Again, you can listen to all these professionals right here. They are on our YouTube. You can also listen to them by clicking on any of these links to get to see how they got started. Now, I've said so many things and I'm wrapping up. What else do you need to do in addition to all the things I've said? First of all, you need to learn the technical skills. You want to become a data analyst. It's not going to happen by magic. You need to know what to learn, and you need to learn in using the right platform. So once you've identified the career path you are interested in, which is the first thing you get to do, we did that at the beginning today. Select one, select two, depending if you're not very convinced on the one you want to start. Okay. Then number two, you learn in a self-paced environment and also a live instructor-led environment. And what does this mean? You have a blended learning approach. You're not learning on YouTube because that's never going to work. It doesn't work for people who are trying to move into a new career path. I've been there myself. My first degree was in industrial chemistry. My first job was as a management consultant. I had no idea what data analytics was all about. And when I was learning, I took the route that so many people take. I did Coursera, I did Udemy, I did YouTube. it was all a hassle. I struggled, nobody to ask questions. I was just watching videos and trying to figure things out myself. Took a whole lot of time. So you want to find yourself within a platform where you have the opportunity to ask questions to a real human being who can walk you through problems and so on and so forth. And what does that platform look like? So I'll show you quickly the Tenalytics platform. Of course, for those who have joined, you have access to your dashboard, the learning management system. So when you go to the Tenalytics website, tenalytics.io, you click on the dashboard, you have access to your dashboard, right? Say, for example, you've registered for the business analysis program. All you have to do, click on continue learning, and you have access to the platform. This is the self-paced platform. This is where you get to watch your video, watch your content, and practice along. Okay. You want to learn project initiation planning. For example, you come in here, click on project initiation planning, KPIs for business, setting project performance measures, who is a stakeholder, stakeholder analysis. You click on that, for example, that's what you want to learn. Okay. You watch the videos, you practice at your own convenience. All right. You practice at your own convenience and you solve case studies. Every single part has what? A case study. These case studies are the ones you upload to your portfolio. I showed you the portfolio the other time. So portfolios is where you warehouse all the projects you've worked on as proof of work. So with the LMS, you can come in here any day, anytime at your convenience, watch your videos, practice along any day, anytime. Then you have your live classes. Your live classes are designed every weekend. Okay, you come into class on a Saturday, you have a professional like myself and other professionals who would work with you every single day to help you solve case studies, solve problems, and get to learn all the different technical, parts of being a business analyst, if that's the program you've decided to go for. So this is business analysis, the cohort that started in December 2024. So creating your portfolio, you have a guide on how to create your portfolio. All those amazing portfolios you saw, they were created by watching just these 4 videos, and you'd create your own portfolio. Okay, I talked about the job openings when the lady, I'm just going to show you, then come back here. This amazing lady who got a job and said, I applied to the job that you posted. Okay, I applied to the job that you posted. You can see that right there. Now, every single week, every Sunday, we post new jobs. All right. And all you have to do is come in here to your classroom, click on the jobs, and you can apply to jobs. Now, the beauty about doing this is you have jobs that come with sponsorship. If you're in the UK, for example, you see sponsorship, yes, 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 you can apply to those jobs easily. Now, why is this big for us? Most of the platforms where you get all the visa sponsored jobs in a single environment are paid. You have to pay for those platforms. UK visa jobs is one of them. If you're applying for visa sponsorship jobs and you want to get them on LinkedIn, you'd apply for a very long time. If you want to get them on jobs.gov.uk, you'd apply for a long time. CV Library, Indeed, you'd apply for a long time. You want to get a platform where these jobs are posted on in a single environment from all these different platforms, and even more jobs you will not find on the conventional platforms. However, you don't have access for free. You have to pay. So what we've done is Tenalytics would pay for those platforms. We scrape the jobs from those platforms and we send them to you. If you're looking for sponsorship, you come in here. You're in Canada, you want to get a job, you come in here. So the lady that got a job, that sent that message, one of the jobs you posted, this was exactly where she applied, to that job from. Okay. So your consistency project, your CV, interview prep. If you have an interview, for example, from your dashboard, all you have to do, go to your dashboard, you'd see interview preparation, come in here, click on schedule appointments. You select the program you've joined, the link to the job you're applying to, the details about the job, the interview stage. Is it first level, second level, and all of that? You select all of this, and then you are able to you're able to book an interview prep session. Somebody joins the call with you, upload the CV that you used to apply. Somebody will join and help you prepare, set up a mock interview session with you, and so on and so forth. The live classes, on the other hand, are project based. Okay. So a live class is where you join a live class. For example, if we go to the class recording, you'd see exactly what happened in class. So if you ever missed any live class, all you can do is you can simply go back, watch the recording, see exactly what happened, listen to the conversations, and you get to know how to answer questions, how to solve the problem. So you don't miss anything at the end of the day, because the recordings are always available for you to refer, and so on and so forth. Okay. So that's the beauty of having the live classes. Your live classes, you have to be able to interact with a professional. You can't just be watching videos, which is the way a lot of people do, and they find the journey a whole lot more difficult simply because they're trying to figure things out by themselves. Okay. Every single thing you learn as a business analyst is done working on projects, so you know exactly how to get the job done. Once you've done that, you must build a portfolio. We've talked about the portfolio. I'm not going to go back to it again. You must build a portfolio. Then we also ensure that you have the right CV. We help you with your CV review and your revamp, the LinkedIn optimization. So when you see Ernest's LinkedIn, Victor's LinkedIn, it was due to the fact that they joined our LinkedIn and CV review session. So if you go to your live classes in the live platform, you would see where you have your mentorship sessions, which happens every single Thursdays. Okay, utilizing AI for job application, navigating the job markets. This session, for example, we brought a HR recruiter, a HR consultant. We bring them from time to time from different regions. We bring from the UK, from the US, from Canada, and so on. We brought this professional, Felicita Amanze. She is a HR recruiter in Canada. We brought her on board, and these are the type of people we partner with. Okay. They also are looking for professionals like you on the one hand, and on the other hand, they come to share experience with what you need to do. You're struggling to land a job, you're struggling to get a job. What do you need to start doing? Okay. So these are the things you'd find in your mentorship sessions from time to time, and so on. Then you have your CV review session, your LinkedIn optimization session. These are live sessions, and that's where your employability skills, you start to build them so that you get yourself to the front of the recruiter, the front of the potential employer with your CV, and then you know exactly how to prepare for that interview and getting the job. Navigating the job market, we prepare you for your interviews. If you have an interview, we prepare you, we work with you, have a mock interview session, preempt the type of questions you're likely going to get, so you know exactly how to prepare and where to prepare. We send you and we write your references for you. And when you are done, you've gotten the job, you've gotten the offer, you are in the company, and you have questions you are likely going to want to ask. We are there for you to answer those questions. For a month, we work with you to ensure that you are fully settled into that particular job. Of course, the networking, the mentorship, and these from 4, 5, and 6, these are the 6 steps you need to take in addition to all the things I've mentioned. You're going to select the career path, learn the technical skills, build a portfolio, gain employability skills, which we literally do for you, your mentorship sessions, your CV review, your LinkedIn revamp, interview prep, and so on. You join our community where you also attend networking events. And finally, you join our mentorship sessions every single Thursdays, where you get to interact with myself, other professionals across the globe, to help you make that transition. And that's how you get the job. Okay. So wrapping up in the next 20 minutes, I'm quickly going to run through all the skills you need to learn. As a business analyst, for example, what must you learn to become a business analyst? And then we take questions and we call it a day. As a business analyst, you must start with Excel, Power BI, and SQL to build your data skills. The business analyst must have data skills. The modern business analyst must have data skills. Then you move into process mapping using tools like Lucidchart, Draw.io. You move into project initiation planning, Agile and Scrum for projects, the software development lifecycle. These are project management related skills. You're going to leverage Jira for tracking project deliverables, Confluence for collaborating on projects, Trello for tracking your team members, their tasks and responsibilities. And you're also going to learn Azure DevOps. Then you'd learn requirement fundamentals, elicitation, stakeholder analysis and engagement, Chat GPT for business analysis. And these are the key skills for any business analyst to have and thrive and get a job within the business analysis ecosystem. Our programs are designed in a way that it doesn't matter where you are. If you are in the US, you are in the UK, there's a time fixed based on your time zone. If you're in the UK, for example, you have a class 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. only on Saturdays. And in the evenings, for those in the US, there's a class for your time zone, 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Mountain Time. So for those in the UK, for example, it's flexible for you because if you're not available in the morning, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m., you can join the class for those in the US, which would commence around 6 p.m. your time. Okay. And that's 10 a.m. US Mountain Standard Time for those in Canada or in the US. Every other day, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and so on, you get to log into the LMS, which I showed you, watch your videos, practice, solve case studies at your own convenience. There are two options for you to choose. The first option is where you get to learn in class for 6 months, all the techniques, the technologies, and all of that, work on projects together with a professional, and then you have 2 months internship. The second option is 6 months learning in class and then 6 months internship. So the second option gives you the opportunity to work on more projects for those who want to work on more projects. And the beauty about it is you don't wait until the end. Hope, who got a job as a project analyst, she had certifications but couldn't land a job. She got a job 4 months into the program. She joined us in September. She got the job in December, simply because you don't wait until the end before you start to apply to jobs. You want to become an agile project manager. You are also going to learn introduction to project management methodologies, project management skills and communication, the foundation of Agile and Scrum. You'd learn the Scrum framework, increments, sprints, backlog, the Scrum artifacts. You'd also understand advanced Agile practices, end-to-end use of Jira and Confluence for projects. So you'd learn Jira, you'd learn Confluence, Jira to track your project deliverables, Confluence to collaborate with other team members, other stakeholders on projects. You'd learn Kanban, how to use the Kanban boards for workflow management. You'd learn agile metrics and reporting, leadership and real-world application in the project management ecosystem, the Nexus Skilled Scrum, and we help you prepare for the Scrum Master certification. Okay. You'd also get to learn how to use Trello to track your team members' progress on projects and so on and so forth. Hope, who got that job as a project analyst, completed this program that enabled her land that job. Again, the structure of the class is the same. It doesn't matter where you are. There's a class that aligns to your time zone. If you're in the UK, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. If you're in Canada, in the US, that's 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Mountain Time. Eastern Time that'll be 12 noon to 3 p.m. Eastern Time. Okay. So there's a time that fits, your time zone, depending on where you are. The two options like I mentioned earlier, 6 months learning, 2 months internship. And the second option, 6 months learning, 6 months internship for those who want more work experience. The data engineer is that professional who must understand what data engineering is all about, introduction to data engineering. You'd learn how to use SQL, Python, which would be your bread and butter as a data engineer. You'd learn SQL, structured query language, Python to build your ETL pipelines. You'd learn Linux for your bash scripting. You'd learn how to get data from different sources, from databases, APIs, scraping data from the web, Apache Spark and Airflow for your data orchestration, your pipeline automation, and so on and so forth. You'd learn cloud engineering platforms using Google Cloud Platform, GCP, and Microsoft Azure. You'd learn version control with GitHub and ChatGPT and GitHub Copilots for AI as a data engineer. Again, the structure of the classes are similar. Classes, your live classes are on Saturdays. Every other day you're on the LMS watching videos, practicing, solving case studies, and on a Saturday you join class with a professional who would solve problems, you'd work on case studies, and you have the opportunity to ask direct questions that gets answered in real time. Okay, option 1, 6 months learning, 2 months internship, and the second option, which has an extended internship, 6 months learning, 6 months internship. The data analyst, like I mentioned earlier, if you remember, we looked at that job for the BI analyst. The BI analyst only says SQL, Power BI, okay, and DAX. Like I mentioned, DAX is data analysis expression. It's something you write in Power BI. Okay, it's just like you using Microsoft Excel and you write your functions and formulas. That's what DAX is all about. But you're going to learn beyond this in the data analytics program. You learn problem solving, you'd learn Excel, you'd learn SQL, structured query language, you'd learn Power BI, you'd learn Tableau, data storytelling, AI for analytics using ChatGPT, and Microsoft Fabric. And this is the exact reason why I said the data analyst can do this job of the business intelligence analyst, simply because you would learn the skills in BI and even more. All right. And again, the class structure similar to the other ones I've reeled out already. It doesn't matter where you are, there's a class for your time zone. 6 months learning, 2 months internship for the first option, 6 months learning, 6 months internship for the second option. For the data scientists, you are taking the data analyst role a step further to add predictive analytics to what you do. You're going to start with statistics, because your machine learning, all those machine learning models you saw on NS profile, on Victor's profile, they are all hinged on statistics. That's the foundation of data science. So you learn statistics, forecasting and predictive analytics using Excel, Tableau for data analytics, SQL, structured query language, Python, exploratory data analysis, machine learning, computer vision, version control using GitHub, AI for data science using GitHub, Copilots, and ChatGPT. And finally, Microsoft Fabric for analytics. Again, similar structure, live classes on Saturdays. Every other days you have your watch me do it, watch your videos on your LMS, 6 months in class, 2 months internship for the first option, 6 months in class, 6 months internship for the second option. The financial analyst is the data analyst that focuses on financial data, financial records. All right. So you learn your key data skills, problem solving, Excel, Power BI, and SQL. These are your data skills. Then you move into the core financial aspects. Okay. Financial analysis and corporate finance, accounting fundamentals, financial analysis, financial modeling, valuation, sensitivity and scenario analysis, and AI for financial analytics using Charts GPT. Okay, structure of the class the same, like I've mentioned earlier. Then you have the HR analyst, the second to the last. The HR analyst is a data analyst, but with a focus on people data, on HR data, using people and HR data to drive HR policies and strategies. So you learn your key HR, your key data skills, problem solving, Excel, Power BI, SQL. Then you move into the key HR metrics, the key HR areas using HR analytics, performance evaluation, HR metrics and lifecycle, HR analysis and dashboarding, collaboration, report automation, building your case and creating action, and AI using HR analytics with Chat GPT. Structure of the class, same, similar as the other classes I've already mentioned. And finally, last but not the least, you have the cybersecurity analyst. As a cybersecurity analyst, your program would cover 4 key career paths. You can apply to jobs as a GRC consultant, governance, risk and compliance consultant. You can apply to jobs as a pen tester, penetration tester. You can apply to jobs as a SOC analyst, a security operations center analyst. And finally, you can also apply to jobs in threat intelligence and incidents response. Okay. Threat intel and incidents response. So these are the 4 key areas you can apply to jobs after completing our cybersecurity program. And you'd learn introduction to cybersecurity, foundations of computing and networking, offensive and defensive cybersecurity, information security principles, cryptography, including encryption, decryption, cyber threats and attack vectors, network, endpoint security, web and application, cloud security, incident response and forensics, and finally, cybersecurity, policies, and compliance. The structure is same as all the other programs I have listed just before cybersecurity. Again, your internship, either 2 months or 6 months, is with a leading tech company called Amdari. The beauty and the opportunity for you is you'd have the opportunity to have Tenalytics on your CV and LinkedIn, as well as Amdari on your CV and LinkedIn. And how does that look like? I'll give you a very good example of one of our participants who got a job last year. Okay. Her name is, let me see if I can remember her name now. Busola. Let me go to Busola Desonya very quickly, and I'll show you exactly what I mean. Tenalytics would always be on your LinkedIn because remember, you don't join us as a student, you join us as a contractor. So that's Busola. She got this job last year in July 2024, performance analyst with Desjardins Insurance. Okay. If you go to this other gentleman's name, Oluwadamilare Eweje. Oluwadamilare got this job in April last year, 2024, in the UK as a sustainability data analyst. And you get to see Tenalytics as part of his work experience. The reason why you do this is so that you can request for reference from us. Organizations would also see that if you are on this role as a data analyst, it means that you are good enough to do the job for them. And that's where having not just one this time around, you have Tenalytics, you also have Amdari on your LinkedIn and your CV, opens up a whole lot more opportunities for you at the end of the day. So there are more success stories. I'm not going to dive into them. I'm just going to breeze through because you're going to have my slides. You can read through and get to see all the amazing people doing amazing stuff. Rita got her sponsorship last year after the Home Office made changes in the UK, changing the shortage occupation list to the immigration salary list, increasing the salary threshold to £38,700 for you to be able to apply to even get a COS in the first place, to qualify the threshold and so on. There was a lot of back and forth, and this is Rita sending us a message. I spoke to my manager about the visa and the rules that changed. HR pushed back and forth until they gave me my COS. Okay, I used the priority service and I got the decision. And this is Rita saying, "Thank you so much. I'm grateful to Tenalytics because the program taught me SQL, which I used to get this fixed term contract job. Thank you very, very much. Okay. So, like I mentioned, for those in the UK, you want to watch my session that happened last week. If you are looking for sponsorship, you want to get all the strategies from that session. That's what would guarantee you sponsorship this year. And so many other professionals. Lois was an accountant back in Nigeria, joined our business analysis program. Now she's a project manager in the UK. Ngozi Aderemi. Ngozi was in customer service. She also did HR back in Nigeria. No experience in tech. Now she joined our business analysis program. Now she's a business analyst in Huddersfield in the UK as well. And so many other success stories. Benem joined our HR analytics program from the US. And this is Benem saying that, "Hi, Mary, I got the job. Thank you so much, Analytics. Two, I'm happy that I took this opportunity. I'll be starting on the 19th of August. Benem started her job as a HR analyst in the US on the 19th of August last year, 2024. This is Fola, who joined us in February last year and got a job in May. She completed her program in May 2024 and she got this job with the government of BC, British Columbia, as a business analyst in August last year as well, and so many other success stories. Abigail was a care worker in Saskatchewan, Canada, joined our business analysis program. Today, she's a business analyst with the government of Alberta. You listen to Oyefikayo Abisola, fantastic professional. I want you to listen to her as well. Okay, so I'm not going to go deep into all the other testimonials, and that's me right there. Okay, we joined the Alberta Catalyzer Velocity program when we started our new office in Canada, October last year. It was an amazing, amazing time where we joined a community of resources with the Canadian government, helping us offer more to our participants and even give more value. And that's where you get to meet. So that's me right there. Okay, that's Efemena, the co-founder of Tenalytics, and other founders and co-founders that participated in this particular session. Remember, what opened up this opportunity, even for Tenalytics, to get into the Alberta Velocity program? Networking. I attended innovation hubs close to me, tech accelerators close to me. You should also do the same. That's where you get opportunities. Okay. So you get to read about the amazing work we are doing, helping over 2,500 Africans and so on and so forth. Okay. We also got our certification from the American Council of Training and Development last year, 2024. You can read about that right here as well. The amazing stuff we are doing for those of you who would like to go through that. Now, as we wrap up, what's the next step? What do you need to do after this session today? The next step is very simple. What you need to do to thrive and get that job is to get started. Our next cohort starts on the 8th of February, next week, Saturday. We've been holding sessions from last week, from 2 weeks ago, and our registration for February closes on Tuesday. All right. I have an amazing discount for everybody. Not for everybody, I beg your pardon, for most people who would like to join and start between February, March, and April. And I'll show you how to get started. If you are registering for any of the programs, data analytics, business analysis, data engineering, for the 8 months program, where you have your 6 months learning, 2 months internship, instead of paying $900, you have a whopping $150 discount, 20% off, where you get to pay just $750 to get started. And if you're paying for the 6 months learning, 6 months internship, instead of paying $1,200, you get to pay just $1,000, 20% off. And you can also make these payments in multiple installments. That's the beauty. Okay, you don't have to make the $750 in one full sweep. You can pay within 5 months, $150 per month for the next 5 months, or $125 per month for the next 8 months, depending on the option you decide to take. And how do you get started? How do you make payments? How do you become a part of this? Registration closes on Tuesday. The discount also closes immediately. We have the first 10 people for each program. So the discount is open to just the first 10 people that will be registering from today's session. All right. And remember, registration closes Tuesday, the 4th of February, because we want you to get set ready for the class that starts on Saturday, your very first introductory class. So you want to get started, get registered between now and Tuesday. And also bearing in mind that the discount is not open to everyone. It's open to the first 10 people that will be registering. So how do I get registered at DESA if I want to get started today? All you have to do, click on this link. Okay. So I'm going to use my other browser. Just give me 1 second. So to get registered, to be a part of 10 Analytics, have these amazing sessions, you click on this link. It takes you to the enrollment center. From here, you scroll all the way down to the program you're interested in starting. Okay, so I'm interested in, going for business analysis, 6 months learning, 2 months internship. All I have to do is click on this BA 8 months. It takes me to where I can get to make payments. Okay, so we have 10 slots available just for the first 10 people that registers to get into this particular program. All right. And I can make payments in multiple currencies. So if I'm going to pay in pounds, for example, if I pay once or in 2 installments, I only get to pay £575. But if I pay from 3 installments to 4 installments to 5 installments, I get to pay £615. So it's cheaper for me to pay in 1 installment or 2 installments. But again, it's flexible to give you that ease of joining and getting started. So let's assume I've decided to go for the 5 months, 5 monthly payments, paying 5 installments. I click on that and I click on secure your seats. So you'd see you make your first payment today. Next payment is on the 1st of March, 1st of April, 1st of May, and 1st of June. Okay, so click on proceed. You enter your name, enter your email, your phone number, and then you click on pay for product. Okay, so when you click on pay for product, what happens? You enter your card details, and then you get to make payments, confirm payments. Today, you'll be paying just £123. The next payment would come in March, April, May, until you complete the payment for the program, 5 installments. Okay, so once you've made payments, you would receive an automated confirmation to the email that you've provided. All right, and you also get the link and redirected to where you complete your registration. Now, I'll show you what the registration form looks like. So once you've confirmed payments, you are automatically directed to this form for you to fill. Okay. So for those of you that wrote 2 programs at the beginning, or I'm not sure of the program, I'm thinking of data analyst, business analyst, you wrote the 2 down. You might want to come into a clarity session. We call it the clarity session. It happens during the week. You want to select while filling the form, I need to speak with a professional, and I'll show you how to do that. So you come into that clarity session, we look at the 2 programs or 3 programs you're interested in, and then we guide you on the one to select. For those of you who have already selected the program you're interested in, that's perfect, fantastic. You know exactly what you want to do. Okay, so while filling the form, you click select all. It's intuitive. Okay, pretty straightforward. Initial payments, next. I want to show you that portion so you know exactly what to do when you get there. Okay, you select 8 months, 12 months. If you have any questions, you send an email to finance@10analytics.io. Click on next. Next. Read the terms and conditions. you have any questions, you can send us an email, enquiries@analytics.io, admission@analytics.io. Somebody would respond to you. Or you can send us, put a phone call through to Shay, Lydia, or Glory, one of my colleagues. Send us a WhatsApp message, click on next. When did you make payments? Select all of this, click on next. Next. Now, this is where you get to do the things I've advised. So if you are sure of what you want to do, I want to do cybersecurity. I've selected that. Perfect. But if you selected two, or you're not sure, should I do HR analytics? Should I do data analytics? Select I need to speak to a professional. So we arrange you for a clarity session where you join a smaller class, smaller size, smaller group. You have a professional, including myself, the co-founder, and we help you identify the specific career path that you should be selecting. We don't select for you, but we guide you to make that right selection eventually. So when you click on next, you can, if you want to, start next week, the 8th of February. For those of you that have commitments, you are busy, you can't start 8th of February, you can start 8th of March, the next cohort. The beauty is you would have secured your discount. So when the registration and discount ends on Tuesday, you would have still gotten the discount. So instead of paying $900, you'd be paying $750. And instead of paying $1,200, you'd be paying $1,000. So for those who will be paying after Tuesday, when the discount is off, they're paying the original amount without the discount. You can also join the cohort on the 5th of April if you want to defer to start on the 5th of April. So once you complete this, you submit, we get all the details, we make the arrangements for you to get into class depending on the option that you decided to select. And if you're making payments say you're registering for data analytics, for example, you want to pay in Canadian dollars, all you have to do is come in here, type in CAD, Canadian dollars, you'd find that there, click on it, and you'd see, so somebody has paid already. Out of the 10 slots left for data analytics, we have just 9 left, okay? So once we are down to 0, the discount is off. If we are not down to 0 and we get to Tuesday, the 4th of February, the discount is off, whichever comes first, okay? If you want to make payments in US dollars, all you have to do, click on this drop down right here and select United States dollars. You'd see the fees in dollars, okay? So if you want to make payments in Naira, come down here, type NGN, and you'd see the option in Nigerian Naira, okay? You want to make payments in Euros, type EUR, and you'd see payments in Euros. So you can literally pay using any currency, South African Rand, Ghanaian cedi, and so on and so forth, okay? So I'm going to take questions from the chat for the next maybe 10 minutes or thereabouts, and then would call today's session a day. 750 US dollars. So if you're changing that to Canadian dollar, it definitely would go up based on the exchange rates. We don't control the exchange rates. It's done automatically on the payment platform. So I'm going to take questions from the chat, then I'll see if anybody has. Yes, what is the payment in pounds? I think I just showed that already. Oduwole. Oluwadamilola is asking, good evening from my end. What about those in tech seeking for a remote job and sponsor job? I think I addressed all of that from Nigeria. Pretty much the same. Okay. The first thing you want to do is learn the skills, build a portfolio, have the right CV, have the right LinkedIn, have somebody to prepare you for interviews, join our networking sessions, mentorship sessions. We give you a reference, you do your internship with us. All the things I've listed today is all what you need. I'll show you a gentleman who, at the moment, he's still he's an assistant manager. Let me look for him. He's somewhere on my slide. I'll see if I can find him very quickly. Abdul Rashid is an assistant manager working with Chow 420 in the US. Abdul Rashid is in Nigeria, Abuja, working for this company in the US. He joined our data science program. Okay, so for the person asking, same with Muhyiddin. Muhyiddin got a job with BBX as a business development analyst, helping BBX with their business development, initiatives from a data-driven perspective. Muhyiddin lives in Ibadan, Nigeria, and he worked for that company in the UK. It doesn't matter where you are. For the gentleman who asked that question, I think that was Oluwa Damilola who asked the question. Okay, so I'm going to take more questions from the chat, and I'll take maybe one or two. I'd allow you to unmute yourself, and then I'd get to hear from you. Okay. So let's see more questions. Excuse me. Can a student join the program? Absolutely. So one of the things we also see very often, those in Canada, they join us for their co-op. So you're currently doing your postgraduate program in the university. You have your co-op coming up very soon. You need somewhere to do your co-op. You can do that with Tenalytics. All right. You are in the UK, you have your internship. What is it called again? You have your placements. You have a 2 years master's, for example. Part of your master's, you have a 3 months placement or 4 months placement. You can do your placement with us at Tenalytics as well. We've had people from France, from the UK, from Canada joining us just for that. Currently, students doing their master's or a postgraduate program, and so on and so forth. Okay. Let me see if I have more questions. I'm interested in GRC. Kukoyi sent that. Whilst he's studying in Canada, can I join as a contractor? I think I just answered that question. Let me take questions from the people who have, let me see. I think 8 months, 6 months learning, 2 months internship is too long for this learning. Previously, your training, yes. Previously, the training used to be for about 4 months. Okay. Now, the reasons why we increase the duration is because of the categories of people we get into the program. Most of them, 90%, are either doing a postgraduate degree or are working 9 to 5, care workers working 9 to 5, and even working weekends sometimes. Okay. So you'd see instances where if you miss a class, it becomes difficult for you to catch up. All right. Because every other week you are in a class, you're solving projects, you are doing an assignment, you have a presentation, and so on and so forth. But with the 6 months program, it gives you more latitude to even catch up when you miss one class or you miss 2 classes. That's on the one hand. On the other hand, it also gives you the extended period, gives you the opportunity to have extended number of work experience that you get to put on your CV. Okay, so these are the 2 major reasons why the duration also increased. And if you notice all the different success stories I've shared with you, Hope Atogi got a job 4 months into the program. Oyefikayo got a job a month, 3 months into the program, a month before she completed the program, and so on and so forth. So again, 6 months, 2 months doesn't mean that you spend 8 months before you start applying to jobs. You apply to jobs a lot earlier. Additionally, the costs, Economy, you're talking about 2023 or 2020. You're talking about 2023. Okay, so that's the fee for 2023. We are in 2025. Okay, so that's what usually happens, and that's the risk you tend to face. You don't get started, the time would always pass. Okay, 10 years ago I started in 2014. 10 years after, I'm here advising, and I've helped over close to 3,000 people to also start their own journey. 10 years after today, it would come, and it depends on you to decide if you're going to get started or not. But the time would come and it would go anyways. All right. So that's the fee for 2023. You are listing Econem. We are in 2025. All right. So let me take questions from Lucy, and I'll take questions from Eunice. And I think we call it a day. So Eunice, please go ahead. I've asked you to unmute yourself. Let's hear from you. How are you doing today, and where are you
Um,
joining?
oh, hi. I'm all right, thank you. I'm joining from the United Kingdom.
Okay.
I just wanted to ask a question. You know, some of the programs they've got like the same things like to study. Let's say the data analyst and then the business analyst or whatever. Like some of them have got like similarities. So let's say you've done the data analyst and now you want to probably move to a financial analyst and you've done like a couple of things already.
Yeah.
You still need to do it all over again. And are you gonna pay the same fee, or because you've done it with Tenalytics, is there
Yeah.
like a way in which you guys are gonna streamline the course? If
Yeah.
maybe you've done one already and then you want to sort of do another. I hope my question is clear.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And that's a brilliant question. So I'm going to answer the question this way. Just give me 1 second. So first of all, most of the time, what you'd find is the programs, even though they have the same technologies, they are different. Okay. And I'll give you this very good example. I was at the GP on that was on Monday. Okay. And they just gave me Advil. Take Advil for your cold, for your cough, and all of that. They didn't really do much of a test for me, and they prescribed the drugs for me to take. If I had gone to a neuroscientist or a more, let's say, specialized doctor who is not just a GP, they're likely going to carry out this test, carry out that test, and do this and do that. But these are both medical professionals who have gone to medical school, but are using similar tools in a different way entirely. Now, let's pick SQL as an example. I've done SQL in business analysis, and am I still going to learn SQL if I decide to go for a data analytics program? The answer is yes, and this is the reason. As a business analyst, SQL is a nice to have for me, is good to have. It's not a core requirement because my day-to-day job and responsibility as a business analyst would not involve the use of SQL on a day-to-day. Now, SQL in itself cuts across 3 major areas: DDL, data definition language; DML, data manipulation language; and DQL, data query language. As a business analyst, you learn DQL, data query language. DDL, which is data definition language, involves how you build the different statements you write to build the database, create the tables, and so on and so forth. Okay, so this is you building from the ground up the database, the data warehouse, as the case might be. DML, data manipulation language, is you've built the database, you've built the tables, you've built everything. Now you are making changes, you are dropping, you are altering, you are deleting, and so on and so forth. The business analyst has no business building a database, a data warehouse, and so on and so forth. It's none of their business. It's not part of their responsibility in any shape or form. So you learn what is relevant to you as a business analyst, which is DQL, querying the database, data query language to extract data from the database. As a data analyst, on the other hand, DDL, data analyst; DML, you must learn as a data analyst, you learn, and DQL as well, you learn this as a data analyst. Now, if you've learned SQL as a data analyst and now you are moving to business analysis, you really don't need that anymore because you've learned DQL already. But if you are moving the other way around, you are a business analyst, you've learned only DQL. Now you want to get into data analytics, you want to get into data engineering, you have to learn DDL, you have to learn DML. So you're learning SQL, the entire SQL again. Now, as a returning student of Tenalytics, if you've done one program with us before, you get an additional 5% discount. Okay, or you referred somebody as a Tenalytics alumnus, you get 5% discount if you are registering again for a new program. Okay, but when it comes to the technologies, they might seem the same, SQL, but the SQL that a data analyst would learn is different from the SQL the business analyst would learn. Okay, and I hope that explains to some extent, Eunice. I think Eunice has muted herself, but I think that answers the question. So when you see even the data scientists, as a data scientist, you're also going to learn Excel. As a data analyst, you would learn Excel. But the data scientists would use Excel differently. You're going to do a lot of predictions, predictive modeling, linear regression, exponential smoothing, moving average technique, naive approach to forecasting, and so on and so forth using Excel. Okay, which you don't necessarily have to do as a data analyst because your focus is not on predictive analytics. So the career path you choose would determine the functions, the functionality of the different tools and technologies that you'd have to focus on, if that makes sense to you. Okay. Time is fast spent. I think we're going to call it a day at this point. Eunice is saying, host is not allowing me to unmute myself. Okay. Let me see if I can unmute you now, Eunice. I think you muted again after unmuting. Okay, I've asked you to unmute, Eunice. Try it
Yes,
now. Okay.
yes, it's working now. Yeah, thank you. Oh, but then it means I've missed out on the 5% because even though I'm just joining, I got my brother to join as well. So when am I going to get my 5% discount?
When did you start? When did you
I've
start?
not even started. I just registered I signed up on 30th, and then I got my brother to sign up as well.
Oh, okay. So the discount is for alumni, like I mentioned. If you're an alumnus, you've completed
Then I
the
could have
program
waited.
and you're coming back, okay? Not for somebody who is just getting
Okay.
started. But what I can suggest for you to do this, okay? Send an email to finance@tenalytics.io, okay?
Mhm.
If
Okay.
there is something open for, you know, people who are just joining, which I'm not aware of anyways, I'm sure they would advise you on that and make that available. So finance@tenalytics.io, just send them. I was in a session today with Adeza, and Adeza mentioned something about discounts. I just joined, I just registered. My brother has registered as well. Am I qualified for a 5% discount? And they'll give you a direct feedback on that. How does that
Sure.
sound, Eunice?
Sounds good. Yeah, sounds good.
All right,
Thank
fantastic.
you.
You're welcome, Eunice. So Janet is asking, is it possible to learn two at the same time? It is, but I advise you not to because the programs itself are immersive. Okay. So you're joining a class on a Saturday, for example, you have a group exercise or an individual exercise where you have to go back, work on a project and come make a presentation. Doing that for two programs would run you crazy, to be very honest, no matter how intelligent you are. Okay, so you want to give yourself time to complete one. And that's why I started the beginning of my presentation with what? Commitment, elimination of alternatives. Start with one, complete that. If you want to come back, you can always come back. We've had somebody, he got a job as a data analyst, completed his data analytics program. He's in the UK, got a job as a data analyst. And in that same company, a role for a cybersecurity analyst, position became open. The salary was far more than what he was earning as a data analyst. And then he decided to come back to do his cybersecurity program with us. And he also landed that job as a cybersecurity analyst in the same company. So you can always come back to do as many. I've worked as a data analyst, data scientist, data engineer, management information analyst, business data analyst. The job titles always changes from time to time. Management information analyst, MIS, is a fancy way, it's just a fancy way of saying a data analyst that reports directly to management. Okay. So I'm not seeing any more questions in the chat that requires 5 days ago. I'm yet to get a response. I'm sure you get a response, Fred. Okay. Is it possible? Okay, I think I've answered that. From an accountant who wants to upskill, I think I've answered all of that. Can we spread payment? Payment is either 5 months or 8 months, depending on the program that you've joined. Okay. So 2 things I want you to do from today's session. All right. But first of all, before I tell you those 2 things, tell me if you've gotten value. We don't offer product management, Ujunwa. Okay, we don't offer product management. If you've gotten value from today's session, type in a yes into the chat. And there are 2 things I want you to do before we wrap up today. Type in a yes into the chat. If you had a nice time, got value for your time that you spent with us this amazing Saturday. Brilliant. Super excited that you got value for your time. Okay. So what I want you to do, go on LinkedIn, search Tenalytics, okay, and follow us so that you are one of the first people that get to see the new trends, the new updates we make, and so on and so forth. Go on YouTube as well, search for Tenalytics and subscribe to our YouTube channel. So you always get updates. Come here, watch the amazing testimonials. If you go to the playlist, if you go to our playlist, you'll see testimonials of amazing professionals. Okay. Hope, listen to Hope, how Hope was able to get a job in project management. You know, even with this, with certification, she couldn't land the job, how she was able to get a job after joining us. Over 138 videos for you to watch. Follow us on YouTube. Follow us on Instagram. Okay. Follow us on X, Facebook, across all social media platforms. Send a connection request as well to me. I'll be very happy to engage every single one of you. Okay. Have an amazing time and enjoy the rest of the weekend. Thanks for joining, guys. Have an amazing weekend, and I'll see you in my next session. Cheers, everyone. Register, get your journey started today.